Hey, hey, you know where you are, and you know who this is. And I'm just waiting for my co-host to join me, but I'm gonna play y'all a song while we wait. This is OBL Music, One Big Love, and this is Cherry Berry. So I hope y'all enjoy.
Don't you think it's time we come together like elevator, girl, we going up. Like Sugar Berry, get on my level. Like Sugar Berry, see me around. Like Sugar Berry, going down. Like Sugar Berry, going up. I come together like elevator, don't you think it's time we come together like elevator, girl, we going up. Like Sugar Berry, get on my level. Like Sugar Berry, see me around. Like Sugar Berry, going down. Like Sugar Berry, going up and down like Chevy, baby. Push your butt like Chevy, baby. Double hoes like Chevy, baby. Top like Chevy, baby. Ay. Remember, you gotta believe to achieve it. Watch what you eat, cows. The food around here, boy, I can't cook it in TV, yo. All what you eat from your head to your feet. That's why you're mad all the time, nigga. Dragging your feet, you got to control your thoughts and then how you think. Cause it will affect your actions and how you street for you. Write down your goals and all your dreams and go get your panties in a while when life throw you a cheat. Cause you wanna see your future. Look at your friends today. You gotta cut the bad. You gotta lose the weight. You gotta show up early. Cause being on time is lame. And you better drill to the end. Cause I will know you day. Oh, you a black girl, huh? Don't tell me how much you train. Cause I know he brown belt time. And they dripping from the fame. And they coming for weird things. And don't care about your name. And don't care about your claims. And don't care about the things. Say, oh, punk shit getting thrown. All up on your throne. Not the one in your home. The one that's in your bone. Got you thinking you own some better shit. I better quit and keep it on them knowledge tips. Like, whoa, raise kids in your own. You lazy making shows. Complaining about egos. And they're blowing them holes. It's time to act like bro. Get out your mama's home. Get that dog at home. Hey, it's up on your own. Gotta make up on your own. Do that round on your own. Put that seat on your own. Let that thing get grown. Eat your veggie devil, baby. You be a better neighbor with. Asking for these savings and before others and neighbor. I never known of a hater till I started rhyming greater. Like I'm baby with the hater. I just want to chew the haters. Like my dog is with the hater. But you are my creator. Tell them how to say you better not a later. OBL is serving like a cater. Come through radio refrigerator. For your mayo and your mayors. Finish saying not an alligator. Jeffy brothers back to the stater. No khaki lackey, but we alley-baggy natives. Ain't that much that we afraid of, so you better bring my aid up. And it better look like Vader. Cause we train like Dago Raiders. How could they ever rate us? We wrote this go that way. Bring the teachers, we need graders. Bring the preachers, we need prayers. Sort them all out and see who they is. You poured it out between your prayers. Just put it down no matter what it is. I wanna be rich, I wanna be famous. I don't like my face, so I'ma change it. I hate these clothes, so I'ma exchange it. Hate this furniture, so I'ma rearrange it. You can change your name, or even go name it. So you can clean your eye, boy, that's what the saying is. You shoot for the stars, that's where the damage is aimless. You better turn it out, or you're gonna be brainless. Don't you think sound we come together like elevator, cause we going up. Like Sugar Berry, get on my level. Like Sugar Berry, see me around. Like Sugar Berry, it's going down. Like Sugar Berry, it's going up and down like Chevy. Push your butt like Chevy. Don't push like Chevy. Top like Chevy. Come together like elevator, cause we going up. Like Sugar Berry, get on my level. Like Sugar Berry, see me around. Like Sugar Berry, it's going down. Like Sugar Berry, it's going up and down like Chevy. Push your butt like Chevy. Don't push like Chevy. Top like Chevy. Ay.
Filling the bunkers for stuffing dozens and blunt clutching cousins. He's up in the truck, we busting verses, breaking verses. Hudson verses, damn it's how it is and how it always be. You cover up the power and fire only get the shouldering. They won't know your ex, you're capable of shouldering. Let them cast that first stone, then we can miss the bouldering. We outnumber them 1,000,000 to 1, according to my calculations. But in order to suppress this information, they use manipulation and visualization, patiently waiting for the awakening of their creation. Oh, propagating, hating, the populating's okay with them. They think they saving them. Let's stay away from them. Less complication, more meditation, no hesitation, no specification, no specific location. We never keep a reservation to pick up the face and look away from things all over the world. We are not the nation, no escaping the destination of a military nation, no time for wasting. We should be defeated from facing Xbox, PlayStation, nation, justification, replacing the face of an actual relation in case of emergency. Break glass for urgency, think fast, they will murder you. Forging the dinner and break fast, so won't even take cash, so control your fate, dominate your weight class when life gives you shake, fake or make hash, or rate in the day's stash and pump your brakes, embrace life, the great crash, dream watch your end pass, the first shall be last shall be first. Babylon, a desert, the truth for quench thirst, not just for one person, earth without motion, ain't no first person, so knowledge and wisdom. Ego is a prison, ego is a bad advice, I wish you shouldn't listen, unless it's to dismiss it. Ego's why we spend so much on gifts to give a Christmas, so tons of driven altruism, really just with difference. Blissfulness is business, ego's why a nihilistic narcissist is restless, they dying for attention. Aliens, those spaceship they slide into dimensions. Aliens, those spaceship they slide into dimensions. The fallen advertisers time of high on false pretenses, radio defenses. Everything you know in life can change in just an instant. Not a second guarantee to anyone who gets it or anyone who doubts it. In your own outfit, personal overpopulated cities are just crowded. They're hurting people into them by burning their surroundings. These are beaming houses. They want a human version of utopia from houses. Forget the Joneses, keep up with Jones and love them, hold them close to your heart. I promise times will get harder, regardless, believe it or not. If they got us in a pot of water, can't you feel it getting hotter? They consider us harder, we oughta do something about it. But tonight is blowing out, and tomorrow's in the veil. Spreading circuses for all is not well. Bell out the banksters jump bail. Can you feel these bars yet? The banksters on jail, correction, corporation, and all is all real. We are in this together. Let's earn our PVs, y'all. Dismantle this donkey and LS and Seesaw, this Admiralty Sea Law, the IVAC and see all projects on the 3 walls, and that is just because they hide behind the force. I think it's time we come together like elevator doors. Don't you think it's time we come together like elevator doors? We going up.
Hello. That was Sherry Berry by One Big Love, OBL Music. And I'm here with our good friend, ZULUONE. Zulu, what is happening?
Hello. Hi, Daddy. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad. Had a good day. Beautiful weather. Was lazy with the dogs on the grass. It was a good day.
Awesome.
That was awesome song.
It was so good. Yeah, I did some Taibo today and almost died.
Excellent.
It was 49 minutes, and I've done that workout before, but it doesn't ever just like stop being really, really hard. And
For real? 49 minutes?
49 minutes, yeah.
I hate you already. I'm going to try it tomorrow, and I'm not going to get anywhere near that. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all body weight, and it's just very, very high intensity cardio of just like moving your body insanely. And then my son and I threw some knives, and
Awesome.
it was a nice day. It's really chilly, but it's been quite nice. Me and Messi.
Excellent.
Hey.
Excellent.
Sue Finelli's here. Carrie
Sue Finelli.
States. Awesome. Awesome.
Love
So,
Love them.
we are just going to be chatting about the fun that was Flatoberfest. So,
Yes.
that was
Oh, that was awesome.
It was on October 24th of this year. So just a couple weeks past. The lovely Karen B put that on. It was at a Shriners Club in Greenville, South Carolina. And it was nothing short of awesome. There was really really just no issues, no audio issues, no like weird media people trying to talk any crap about us. Nobody tried to crash the party and say that we couldn't be there. Nothing like that. It was really just like such a good time. I think there ended up being about 400 people there, and
that's what they said.
Yeah, it was just
I'm
beyond
pretty sure
awesome.
I met 350 of them because I freaking tried, man. I tried. There's so many awesome people.
The funniest part was I always knew when Zulu hugged someone because immediately after you would see him jumping up and down because he was so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like a little kid again. I love it. I swear. I feel like a 16-year-old kid, like I'm at a high school party and all the cool kids are here, and everybody likes me and they're nice to me, and it was awesome. Oh my God, it was so much fun. Hey, I wanted to ask, was that the song we danced to? Was it Cherry Berry or was it the Nugget song?
I don't
remember.
I know it was one of them. Yeah.
Because I posted the video that Sue sent me. I put it as the elusive ZULUONE dancing in his natural habitat. I'm such a dumbass.
Finally caught it.
Yes. I was like, thank you, Sue Finelli, for getting close enough to the ZULUONE.
You approached the wild beast.
Yes, it was. That was just so much fun. It was just so much fun.
Yeah, it was
I have such a big smile on my face right now.
So I arrived Thursday, and we had a good time. We stayed in a really nice Airbnb, and it was on a lake. It was super beautiful. We had Mark Sargent there, and Shelly Aller, Steve Finneran, Nathaniel, ZULUONE was there, myself, and the funniest thing is Alex was there. Yep. I always forget one person. Like every time I say people, I'm like, oh yeah, I got everybody. No, I always forget one person. But
yeah, well, if you don't say their name, it means you don't like them.
Don't tell Alex that. He might not let me shoot his AR again.
That's too funny.
The funniest thing, though, is that David Weiss was a secret guest to me up until about 2 days before we went, and then the secret finally got leaked that he was the other guest that I didn't know of. And what's hilarious is Lulu kept that secret for literally months, and then I found out 2 days before we went, and then we all got there, and he didn't want to have to share the upper loft area with multiple people, and so he ended up staying at Karen B's where he could have his own room. And so it's just hilarious that he was kept a secret from me for so long for no reason, and then he didn't even end up staying there. So yeah, I was really laughing about that.
Yeah, I was impressed that I kept that secret for so long.
Yeah, that was
I really was. And I mean, and you know me, I'm a pushover. If you told me, if you were like, just fucking tell me, I would be like, okay.
There was a few times that I almost made you cave, and I was like, no, I'm going to keep guessing. And I know that I guessed him at one point, but I think that was before I made the rule that if I guessed, you had to confirm if that was the person. And so then I didn't guess him again. And
right.
So,
that's so funny.
It was really funny. But yeah, we had had a really great time. It was a really nice Airbnb, and yeah, a lot of fun for sure. And then Friday there was a big meetup in the park. That's actually the picture that's on this stream, which
That
Zulu
I'm not in. I
missed
told you
out
I'm a hater. Such a hater about that picture.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
in all of the ones that I went to, and I missed that one.
Yep, of course.
Hmm.
Yep, had to go pick up Nathaniel. Yep, and
Yeah.
yeah, so we had a meetup in the park, and there was probably about 100 people that showed up to that, and it was a really, really
Yeah,
good
there was a
time. Like
lot of people there.
yeah, like at one point, I think there was maybe like 50-ish people there, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here. And then like a few minutes later, I was like, damn, there's a lot of people here now. Like it just kept getting more and more people, and yeah, I think we
Yeah.
topped out about 100, and
Yeah, that was
yeah,
awesome.
it was awesome, super fun. One gentleman was making some like barbecued food, and so there was
Oh,
some
Eric.
snacks and
That was
whatnot.
Eric,
And
the guy in the
Eric,
lederhosen.
yes, yeah, that
He
was
is
awesome.
awesome. I believe he's an engineer. He's like a really, really smart guy. And
Nice,
he's on our side.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Way cool
he
dude.
was very, very friendly, very nice to me. But yeah, he made some awesome food, and there was some snacks, and Nathan Thompson was showing off his sledgehammer ping golf ball thing that he does with his memorization, which that's always impressive. David Weiss had his drone there, and he flew it up really, really high and was videoing the sunset.
Yeah, he got some good footage.
Yeah, it was just an awesome night. And again, nobody else made a problem or had an issue with us being there doing whatever. And both days in a row, there was nobody in mask.
You missed something about Friday. First time you
Mhm.
shot a pistol, wasn't it?
Was that the day that we went over to Jack? Like all the
Yeah,
days
because
blending
we went.
together.
I know.
Oh,
I hear you. No, remember we went there
yep,
earlier in the day.
we did. We
Then
did.
we went
Yeah.
back to the. Then we went to the meetup.
We did. Yeah. So yeah, that was we
You had
went
the
over
best
to
instructor. You know that.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey,
we went over to
come on. I'm a very good firearms instructor.
I will agree for sure. Yeah, but yeah, we went over
Yeah,
to
you
Jeff,
were good.
and I got to shoot a 9mm, and then Alex let me shoot his AR-15, which was absurdly fun. And yeah, we had a good time. It was just awesome. Like everywhere we went, there was just like so many good people. Nobody in masks. Everybody was giving
Yes.
hugs. Like great conversations. It was
And the
just
South was awesome. I mean, every place I went to, every store, every gas station, every interaction I had with public, whether they had masks on or not, gave me zero grief about not wearing one.
mhm.
And everybody was cool and receptive when we told them why we were there. I mean, hell,
Yep.
we went to breakfast, and I have to say, Dottie gets big thumbs up for this. She made the call, and we went to this freaking awesome place for breakfast.
Maple
Maple
Street
Street.
Biscuit Company.
That's it.
Yep.
If you're in Greenville, go there. It was
Yep.
fucking awesome. And they
It
were
was
cool as shit. We're talking to them, and I'm like, "Hell yeah, she's from California, she's from Washington, I'm from New York." And he's like, "Why are you guys here?" And we're like, "Oh, Flatoberfest." And we told them, and they weren't like, "Oh, you guys are batshit crazy." They were like, "Wow, that's interesting," and listened. And then they
Oh yeah,
liked this.
the
Oh,
guy
go
at the
ahead.
restaurant, he even said, "Oh yeah, somebody gave me a Flat Earth flyer who was in here earlier." So obviously,
That's right.
we're
That's
the
right.
only ones who had been there. Yeah. So
Yes, and they liked us. Well, it was all because Dottie was with us and Sue, but they bought us like a dessert. They gave us extra biscuits.
cinnamon roll.
What were they, like cinnamon biscuits
Yeah,
or
it was a
cinnamon
cinnamon
rolls
roll.
or something?
Yeah.
That place was fucking awesome. I never had. I am a fat guy who has never ever eaten sausage or biscuits with sausage gravy, and that shit was good. That
Yeah,
was real good.
Zulu had never tried salmon or biscuits and gravy, and I made him try both.
Oh, that's
When we went out
right.
to
The
dinner, I made him
salmon.
try my salmon, and then I made him try my biscuits and gravy. So yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right. The
And
salmon.
both,
That was really good too. That restaurant was excellent. I really liked the food there.
yeah, what was it called? Largen? Larkin. Yeah,
Larkin on the
Larkin.
river.
Larkin on the river in Greenville. Zulu had a steak that was super good, and I had salmon
Oh,
and
it was like
these
butter.
mashed potatoes and like the fanciest Shirley Temple ever with like
Mm.
really expensive cherries. And yeah,
It was
really
good.
good.
I had such a good time. That week,
Yeah, it was-
I just wish we had another week. But I know we'll all get together again soon. I know. But
yeah,
it's
for
just it
sure.
was so good.
I'm going to try and plan a meetup next month. It won't be a big production event like Flatoberfest was, but I am uh, going to be trying to plan a bigger event like that. I need a little bit more time to plan it. Doubtful I can get that ready by next month, but yeah, I will be having a meetup next month most likely. I just have
You
to.
you're gonna have to fly out to the East Coast for our event. Alex and I are setting something up.
Yep, I know. I'm gonna have to
I
go all
that
over.
that I
Yeah.
want to do. I really I think the summer camp theme is the way to go because I just like I said, I love the socialization.
Uh-huh.
Like I mean, there's just isn't enough time to meet everybody. And if we have
Right.
2 days of everybody hanging out at the same resort, you're gonna get a chance to talk to who you want to talk to and meet them,
Right. Well,
and make that connection.
that was one really nice thing about how Karen planned Flattoberfest is there was only like 6 presenters, I think,
Yes,
and
yes,
and so each one had as much time as they needed basically, and then there was a ton of like talking time after the presentation, and yeah, there was just very high level interaction time, just to be able to meet everyone. I never actually did get to meet Mike Williams of Stage of Quay. I was seeing people's pictures
yeah.
and
I didn't either.
I was like, oh dang it,
Sue
like
was
I didn't
hanging
get
out
to
with him.
meet him. I know, I saw Sue's picture. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I didn't get to meet him. Like that's dumb. And I don't think I actually introduced myself to James True either. His presentation was freaking awesome, like next level gravy. Very just so awesome. But yeah, I mean, all the presenters. Oh, Zulu dropped out. I'm sure he'll be back. His phone probably crept out, whatnot. Yep, there he is.
Sorry.
um, but yeah, I didn't get to meet James True or Mike Williams. Just never made it around to them apparently. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
such a
I
good
know.
time.
And we had 12 fucking hours.
I know
And still
exactly.
didn't have
Yeah,
enough
it's
time.
like it went by in such a blur. And
Pardon me.
so I was selling my domes to fundraise getting there, and people were so very generous that I was able to get to the event no problem. And then I sold all my domes by like halfway through the day. I think I was sold out of those, and yeah, again, people were just so incredibly generous to just give me all kinds of money for my domes. Like it was really mind
That's
blowing. And
awesome.
um,
Well,
yeah,
not for nothing, but you are everyone's favorite Dottie.
you know it.
You know it. You know it, damn it. Don't
But
mess
yeah,
around.
it was such a good time. Cammie and Zach had a they had like 3 tables of their how the world works,
Hmm.
all their little gadgets and all that fun stuff. And every
They are
time I looked
so
over there, their
brilliant.
their table was just full of people, and the kids, there were so many kids at this event. It was awesome. And like the kids were loving those tables because everything is hands-on. And Cammy and Zach are both just like, please pick it up, like test it out, like look what this can do, and like just get your
Yeah.
brain working. And yeah, it was just unbelievable. The funniest thing though, that Cammy and Karen worked on the shirts for the event, and um, and our beloved Mark Sargent, he, for whatever reason, did not get put on the shirt, and it was just a complete like
I know,
slip
that's
of the
so
mind,
funny.
like, oh, whoops, who's that guy? And so that just kind of became the big running joke of the event. That was really the only thing that went wrong. And I mean, at this point, like it's just hilarious
Yeah,
because
at this
because
point, it was necessary to happen
yeah, like
because it was just like that's a thing. That was the thing.
exactly.
And
So
he signed
Dave, David
tons
Weiss
and
took
tons of shirts.
yeah, he signed
He's
all of them different ways.
yes.
Mine, he crossed out Karen B presents, and he wrote Karen B forgets, and then he wrote Mark
Yeah,
Sargent
mine.
really big at the bottom.
I think on
David
mine she
Weiss,
sucked.
David
Karen
Weiss
B
is going
sucks.
around crossing off Mark Sargent's name and writing his name under
Yeah,
it.
that was
And
great.
so yeah, it just became kind of a big, huge running joke of like, oh, who's that Mark Sargent guy? Like he doesn't matter. That's fine. Like, but
Nice, nice.
Mark is the least offended person I
He's
think I
just
may
too
have ever
mellow.
met, and so he took the joke just fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just hilarious. Like,
Well, you know him well. I know him well. I mean, I just, I don't know. He's just a regular guy. It doesn't matter that, he's blowing up like this and, I mean, to the point where people recognize him and know who he
mhm.
is. He's just regular old Mark and hangs out. I mean, fuck. He was my designated driver. I was like,
Yeah,
I told him
exactly.
as soon as Jen, uh, and we went and got our first round of drinks, I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. I can't drive. I went right over
Yeah,
to him. I was like, you're driving tonight. And he goes, oh, okay, got it. That
yeah.
was it.
We got
Just gave him the
the
nod. He's so awesome.
VIP Secret Service Mark Sargent driving us home. I wasn't
Hell
drinking,
yeah.
so I mean, I could have driven had it been necessary. But yeah,
I
nice to
kept
just
trying to
say
make you
like, oh,
drive.
I had Mark Sargent as my chauffeur. So
I kept
yeah,
trying to make you drive. You wouldn't drive the Secret Service vehicle.
I would have had it been necessary. But if someone else is able to drive, then no
Yep.
problem.
No, I hear
Night,
you.
Mia.
And
Have a good
and
night.
and I fully feel that the truck was part of the whole trip. I mean, it really performed, did everything I needed it to do because every trip was 37 to 39 fucking minutes.
Yep.
Every
Every
single
single
one.
thing. Yep. Everything was 37 minutes away.
Too
And,
fucking funny.
yeah, we got to go to Bob and Tammy's new place. They live in this
They
just
have the
beautiful
coolest
house
fucking house.
on this riverfront area. Like you walk down their hill, and they have this like mud flood dam and part of a river that's just part of their property. And yeah, it was just fantastic. We
The
got to sit in
coolest.
command central of Bob's computer area. And yeah, Cammy has this awesome office that has like all mesh windows, and so all you hear is the river constantly. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that river's
it's just
awesome.
wonderful. It's a beautiful house. And I just I could easily just live in Cammy's backyard and like
Yeah,
oh,
no
where's
doubt.
Daddy at? Oh, well, she's in the river
Oh,
with Zach.
you're
They're
you're
finding
welcome,
emeralds.
Sue.
And
Sue said thank you for taking her with us. You
oh
were
yeah, Sue,
awesome.
it was awesome to have you with. It was awesome.
Absolutely. I couldn't have had a better trip to the Guidestones. You two were
Hmm.
fantastic company. I laughed that entire day until I cried when you left, but I laughed the entire day. It was awesome. That was just so much fun. I had a blast. I mean, just giggling like I'm sorry, like a schoolgirl. I just was
Right.
giggling. It's so much. It was so much fun. I really
Yeah,
had a great week.
it was such a like very extreme high energy experience that on Sunday
Yeah.
after the meetup and after the big event, like I I don't drink alcohol anymore just because I die too easily. And so on Sunday, though, I felt like I was legitimately hungover. Like my mouth was
Mm,
really dry. I was like super tired. And I think it was just like extreme energy crash. Like I was so excited, having such a good time. And then after that, I was just like, whew, okay, now like can I sleep for like a week? And
yeah.
then even after like coming back home like last week, I think, after like it had been like a week or so since we had
I
been
took
like
3 days before I even called anyone or talked to anyone or said anything. I was like, don't talk to me. I
mhm,
just need to rest. I was
yeah,
sleeping, awake for a little bit, sleeping, awake. Yeah, it's brutal.
last week I was on Sirius, just as like the pendulum swung so high in one direction, and then that week once I got home it swung very much the other direction. I was just like cranky and I was tired, and I was just like, yeah, I was so just like grumpy and like on edge. So I
Hmm.
was like, oh my God, like great. Now like back in the real world, and like everybody's
Yeah.
talking about the coming election and like all the just sad crap and whatever. And so yeah, it literally took me like a week to get over that just like serious funk that I was in. And
Oh yeah, serious
yeah.
withdrawals. I mean, it was all for a week. I was around people who were awesome and loving and
Mhm.
giggling and laughing, and then I have to come back to the real world and deal with
Yeah,
assholes who want to wear masks and vote for Biden. Really,
exactly.
really, this is what I need. I need some
Exactly.
throwing knives.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck.
definitely been throwing a lot of knives since I got back. Yeah,
Nice,
I
nice.
went to
Are
Cabela's
you
and got
Jason Statham good yet?
getting close. Yeah, I need a bigger target, but even though like having the small target, it makes my aim a little bit better just because you're throwing at such a smaller space. But I do want a bigger target, so I'll probably see about making one pretty soon here. But yeah, they're a lot of fun once you figure out like what distance you need to be at to get them. Because like you hold it by the blade and you throw it that way, and then if you're the correct distance away, it'll spin and go in tip first. And so it takes a few rounds of throwing to figure out like just how far your distance is. And I think mine is about 10 feet to get it to spin properly and go in point first. But
And you
yeah,
throw it,
it's a really good
you
time.
hold on to the blade
Yeah,
and throw it?
yeah.
Okay.
You can
I don't know.
throw it. I
I
mean,
haven't tried it. Just they come in Tuesday, so I will
yeah,
see.
I watched a few videos just
And
to
by the
see
way,
like
I'm going to challenge you right now in public. Next year, we'll see who can throw better, closest to the bullseye.
nice,
Two
nice.
throws or three. Well, I guess we'll do three throws, closest to the bullseye.
Yeah, my son has been throwing them too, and he's really
He's
loving
good.
them. And even to like have my target out by this like concrete wall that I have, but then right next to it is just like a dirt hill, and so we've been throwing into the dirt hill too, just
Gotcha.
because it's a bigger target area. But yeah, he's loving throwing them, and yeah, it's just awesome. But I was surprised at um, how like wide the blade is. Like really, the only like sharp spot is the point. Like the rest of it is, it's not like a, it's not like a steak knife at all. It's just a, I don't know.
It's not sharp. It's a dull edge.
It's the whole side of the blade is like thick and not serrated, not sharp, not anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It's literally only the tip of the blade that is sharp at all. And so yeah,
I ordered the same ones, those Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, they're really good.
3-pack. I ordered those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really
they
nice.
$12.98 or something.
Nice.
Damn Amazon.
I know, exactly. I paid $20.
Damn them to hell.
But Cabela's is so much fun. It's
that
worth
was
it.
better. I wish I had a Cabela's. Oh man, I'd be in there all the time.
PRD 004 says it's like a prison shank.
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. I'm good. You know, I have a weird skill. Is I've always been good at throwing screwdrivers. I don't know why. I picked it up as a kid, and I could stick them in walls, wood. I don't know, just weird. So maybe I'll be good with it. Like I said, I'm challenging you. We'll see.
Nice. Challenge accepted.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I watched some videos on how to throw that. Almost everyone I watched, they hold it by the blade. And yeah, I mean, there is a ton of different ways that you can hold it and throw it and whatever.
Can you throw it by the handle? Can you do
you
those
can throw
by
it
the handle?
Yeah. But it seemed like what most people like, the way that they throw it to get it to spin, it spins better or correctly if you throw it by the blade. I really am not sure. I'm still not positive on why that is the technique, but it seems to be pretty standard that most people throw it from the tip of the blade. And I mean, once I figured out how far I needed to be, it's definitely working quite well. Because you can see when it lands in the target, like, sometimes it'll go in hilt first, and you're like, okay, well, I wasn't far enough away that time because it didn't spin quite enough, and so then you step back a little bit, and you just kind of have to throw them and see how it spins and whatnot. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I'm enjoying them. So debating about joining this archery facility that is like an hour away from me.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no. Now I can.
Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I was wondering if anybody throws them without flipping them.
I know that you can, like, there are ways to throw them. Like, some people throw it literally, they'll like hold it by the handle and then they'll throw it straight, like they'll like stab throw it kind of, and it'll just go straight into the target.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I haven't figured out that.
That's Jason Statham style.
Right. Yeah. I haven't figured out that yet, but yeah, I can definitely get it into the target most times by just throwing it by the tip and getting it to spin right. But yeah, once I get more consistent with, always hitting the target, I'll branch out a little and learn new techniques for throwing and whatnot. But yeah, I want to get a few targets and put them around my yard so you can have them at different distances, different heights, all that stuff.
Nice. Don't forget to tuck and roll.
Yeah, exactly.
And throw from the kneeling position.
Right.
Prone, I don't know. That might be hard. You might have to practice that a little bit to throw from the prone position. But honestly, if you're really going to train like you are, you might as well. Because sometimes you got to shoot under a car, and there's all different stuff.
Sure. Yeah, when I first let my son throw them, he was like, "Oh, cool! It's like throwing a ninja star." I'm like, "Kinda, yeah."
Nice. We used to make them in shop class. I'm old. We had shop, And our shop teacher didn't give a flying fuck what we did. We made bongs and pipes and all kinds of shit.
Nice.
And
I
I
actually
would
took.
take the.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I would take the sheet metal and cut stars out, like 20 of them, and then give them out to all my friends.
Nice.
And you'd find them all over the school, stuck in the ceilings, and we're
That's
idiots.
That's awesome. Yeah, I took auto shop in high school, and that was a fun class. I
Really?
liked that a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because there
How
wasn't.
could you get even more awesome?
Just
That's
never
great.
know. But yeah, because
No.
me and my two friends, we needed a class to fill our period, and that was the one that appealed. I think the other one was floral design, and none of us were interested in that. Though now I really like that. I worked in floral a little bit at QFC,
Interesting.
and I taught myself how to make corsages and stuff. But yeah, we all just decided like, oh, let's take auto shop, and why not? It was super cool. It was a good
Interesting.
class.
My college degree is in automotive technology. That's what I went to college for. To learn the
Nice.
science of how the cars and all the systems in the cars work. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a master mechanic technically,
Hmm.
but I love cars. And it's weird because all the secondary stuff I took in college, the other classes you have to take, was all biology stuff. I took
Hmm.
I took bio 1 and 2. I took the labs. I took psychs. I liked it. I enjoyed that. I mean, I guess now I look back and maybe I wish I had gone for something else, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting my second career. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Exactly.
It seems like a lot of us are starting over and doing new things, and you know, it's good that everybody supports everybody. I think that's big.
Yeah, it's funny. I have been feeling a lot lately that I'm going through like some kind of like midlife crisis, and I like thought that I was pretty alone in that, but then I was talking to some friends from high school, and they all like said exactly what I'm feeling, that they're just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my kids. Like like everybody seems to be like, what the fuck am I here for? And I was like, oh, like, I'm sorry that you're all going through that as well, but I feel so much better that you're all going through that as well, because now I feel less like shitty and like lost in who the fuck am I supposed to be, when I'm like, oh, okay, nobody seems to know. Like, all right, that's
Yeah.
less awful, I guess.
Yeah, try being 53 going on 54. In January I'll be 54. That's scary to me. But
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know. Inside I don't feel like, in my head, I'm sorry. If people don't like me for this, they can leave, whatever, don't ever talk, whatever, but I feel like I'm still a 16-year-old kid inside. I'm
right.
sorry. I think all girls are cute, and if you fart in ShopRite, I'm gonna fucking laugh. Okay? I can't help myself. I don't want
Right.
to. I don't want to lose that in my head. My body is different. My knee tells me every day I'm
Right.
old,
Right.
and I'm trying to be less fat, but it's just in my head. I don't want to grow up like that. I want to enjoy people, enjoy life, and giggle and laugh. Like I said,
Right.
that was one of the best fucking days ever, because from the second we got in the truck and on our little journey, we were giggling and laughing,
Right. Exactly.
and I needed that, that's, I mean, I thank the chat and everybody out there all the time. I mean, I
Hmm.
need you guys. I appreciate it. You know, I think I did see PRD Paul. That dude is way cool. Way
Nice.
cool. I love him. That
He
dude,
said,
there was just so many cool people.
"Oh, it was like, yeah, just like people overload, like the amount of people who know me from just calling into a random ass radio show. Like it's kind of mind blowing. And like I didn't realize how many people recognized my face. Like I figured a lot of people would recognize my voice or my name, but so many people would come up to my table because I had a table with my domes out there, and people would just come up and be like, "Oh my gosh, aren't you Dottie?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
like how do you know? Like you know my face? Like oh my gosh." Because
Hell
on the
yeah.
radio, I'm like, I'm just a voice, and I'm like,
You're
"Did you
everyone's
did
favorite
you stalk
Dottie.
my channel?" Like yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I definitely have made an impression on some people, whatnot. But yeah, it was just
That's an
so.
understatement.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
and
No,
now I'm like, I am the girl who, was like in a nice dress and ended up barefoot for most of the day. And so I'm sure people have something to say about that. But like I was wearing a dress, so then I was wearing heels, and I knew that I was gonna end up barefoot at some point because like I can't wear heels that long, but I'm like, I'm not gonna wear sneakers with a nice dress, and I didn't bring any clothes to change into. And so yeah, on like uh when whenever people were streaming, when we were listening to the music, I saw a couple live streams that I was in there dancing, and yeah, I didn't have any shoes on, and so just whatever. But I mean, I don't really like to wear shoes
ah,
in
the
general. And
the coolest people go barefoot. The coolest
yeah.
people just are like, hey man, whatever, free in life. And I hear
Oh
you.
yeah, like
I love being
uh
barefoot.
Just Jack's 5-year-old, that girl never wears shoes. Like
I wasn't even
wore
sure
'em.
I didn't even think she had shoes.
She was wearing them
She's
very,
awesome.
very briefly when they got to the Georgia Guidestones, and then
Oh yeah,
as she
yeah.
was walking around, she kicked them off, and yeah, like that girl is never in shoes, and yeah, I love it. I can't really stand being in shoes. They're terrible.
I never
So yeah.
realized how important it is to just go outside, take your shoes off, and walk around the yard. Just do it.
Hmm.
Just do it. You actually will feel better. I
Yeah,
didn't
if you're
understand how important it is to be grounded. It's for real.
starting to feel like you're getting sick, if you walk around barefoot or you just go lay in the grass with like as much skin touching the grass as you can, it'll actually help you get over your sickness that you feel coming on. Like it's just, yeah, it's awesome how much the earth heals us, which I always think it's funny how many people want to like leave the plane and go to say Mars or whatever, when it's like I don't think that we're capable of living out of this earth realm. Like we might be able to go, like if you could get to one of the other puddles, like you might be able to live there, but like I just
Right.
I don't think that our bodies are capable of living off of this plane. Like there's a reason that we're here on in this earth realm. And like I think
Oh
that the
yeah.
frequency of the ground and the sun, like I honestly think that we would get really, really sick and weak if we were to go to, quote unquote Mars or whatever. Like I don't think that frequency is like we're not able to adapt to being in that place. And so yeah, like all the people who want to go there, good riddance, go please. Like
Hmm.
crash with you. Like
You
just
know,
go and have fun. But like
I feel
yeah,
that way too. It's like whatever. You can go away if you don't like me. You don't like what I'm saying, what we're doing. Go away. I don't want to waste energy. I want to be around these people.
Mhm.
Like I say it, best cult ever. I'm sorry. I wish we all lived somewhere close. Not on a commune. Like, maybe that might be a little, a little much. But
I want to live in a
if
good community.
Yes, I wouldn't mind living in the same town as you. Right. That'd be okay. That'd be cool. You know, I'd love to be able to meet once in a while. Hey, everybody's going to so and so's house. Let's just, I don't know. My friends in real life, I love them, but they're not even close to where we are and what. And I'm not saying that I'm anybody or anybody special, but for real, we have a head start on a lot of people and what we've been looking at and who we've been talking to and the information we've been gathering.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard. You can't just dump all this on somebody in one day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yesterday I was really like triggered by my family basically celebrating the potential Biden win, and I just like
That's funny.
I could not take it at all. Like I was so agitated, and I literally had to run away. Like I had to get out of the house because my granny knows that I will not talk politics, but I can't stop my mom and my granny from talking to each other. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I
sorry.
have
I'm
to get
sorry.
out of here until my mom goes to work, so I don't have to listen to this. So me and my son went to this bridge like half an hour away from us.
I'm throwing myself off the bridge.
Yeah, pretty
They
much.
talk about Biden.
Yeah, no, like it's called the High Steel Bridge in Shelton, and
Great.
yeah, it used to have railroad tracks
Woman
on it.
throws herself off bridge.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, the fun part though was that we were walking back across the bridge because you can drive across it, but we just walked across it. But
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm
when we were
pussy. I don't
walking
like
back
walk.
across, we saw this family pull up with a bucket of pumpkins, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna throw their pumpkins over the bridge." And I was like, "Trent, let's stop and watch them throw them." And it's a really high bridge, like few hundred
Is
feet
it?
up, and
It is water and not a roadway right below it.
oh yeah, it was a roadway, or it was a roadway on the bridge and then water below it. Yeah, it's
No,
like over
I'm joking. Like they're gonna fucking smash tractor trailers with pumpkins
right.
at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I
no,
I
it was
I,
very
I
cool.
beat up like 3 kids because of that. When we were younger, these assholes they went and fucking put all these rocks across the road, and I punched 2 of them, and I was like, if you don't fucking move them, I'm gonna kill all of you.
Oh my
And they were
gosh.
like, okay, 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 okay. I was like, you're gonna kill somebody. What the fuck is wrong with you? We weren't. I was a
Right.
stupid kid and did stupid shit, but I never, ever, ever tried to hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I did stupid shit that could have killed me, and I got
Right.
shot once even doing stupid shit. But I don't know, crazy.
But yeah, we got to throw well,
That's
the family
awesome.
was throwing their pumpkins over the bridge, and Trent was just like, he was loving that because it made like a huge, huge boom at the bottom, and they just
Nice.
exploded. And he's just like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" And then the guy was like, "Oh, here, you want to throw a couple?" And so yeah, Trent threw a few pumpkins over too, and yeah, he was just loving it. So we had a blast. But yeah, then by the time we got back, my
Nice.
mom had gone to work, and my granny
Isn't it
knows
fun
not
being a
to talk.
redneck?
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love
awesome.
it. I
But
love being a hick. I'm so glad we got to shoot at Jack's. I'm so glad we got to night shoot at Jack's.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
we
telling
even
you,
got
night shooting is rare. You don't get a lot of that,
we
in
even
certain
got
places.
nine cop calls on us for shooting at night, so that was fun.
Awesome. We got street cred. We got
Yeah,
much street cred for that shit.
it was really fun.
I thought I was mad because we missed karaoke. Puh, shake my head.
Yeah.
Please, you didn't hang out with a fucking bunch of cool ass people and get the cops called on you for shooting.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I love Jack. He's like, "Oh, like you guys need a place to go? Well, you can come over and hang out at my house." And people are like, really? Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, come on over. Like, I love having people over. So come over and let me chat with you and let me blow your mind about the Bible and whatnot. And
Well, what did you say? Oh my God, you made me almost piss myself. What was it? What do you mean you haven't read four Hebrew Bibles backwards or something,
yeah,
front and
exactly.
backwards?
Yeah,
I love it.
Jack's
I
Bible
love it.
knowledge is
He
it's through
is
the
a.
roof.
I don't even know how he does it. I don't know where. That's what being free range is all about. Nothing clogging
Yeah.
your mind. And it was funny because I was talking to his boys and I said it. I was like, we totally say this about you, and it's totally not an insult. It's absolutely 100% praise. And I
Hmm.
said, we call you free range kids, free range children, because you're
Yeah.
awesome. They're
Yeah. I
just
mean,
smart, brilliant, bright eyed, questioning. Awesome, awesome.
oh,
I
I
love it.
swear, like some of the best conversations I had was with a 5-year-old, and it's like this girl is blowing my mind right now. Like, dang, and she is so much smarter than me. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
Right. It's not, are
awesome.
you smarter than a fifth grader? Are you smarter than a 5-year-old?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
actually, you're probably not.
Right. Yeah, not a free range kid like that for sure.
No, they're that. Yeah, Jack's a great guy. His wife is awesome. The
Hmm.
kids are beautiful, smart. They're
Yeah.
just, yeah, I love it. I love it. It
Yeah,
was
it's
such a
awesome.
good time.
Yeah, the one thing that we didn't get to do that I wish we could have was gone over to Karen's again just so I could walk through her woods because
Oh yeah.
when we were sitting out by the fire pit, like every time I turned to face the group, I I kept hearing things like behind me. Obviously there's animals in the woods and stuff, but like I swear like I just kept hearing all kinds of stuff behind me. And I'm like,
Hmm.
man, like I just really want to like go and spend some time like at night out in Karen's woods cuz she has confirmed said that she has Bigfoot in her woods. And yeah, I swear like I kept hearing like just every time I would turn my face away from the woods, and I'm just like trying to listen to the people talking, but I'm like, dude, I just keep hearing shit in the woods. Like, and then when I would
Hmm.
turn back there, it's like, there's nothing there, and I just, yeah, I really wanted to spend some more time in Karen's woods.
It's
Just, yeah,
awesome.
it just had this feeling. I'm like, dude, there's stuff in her woods. I don't know how
There
to explain
absolutely
it,
is.
but there's shit
Th-
out there, and yeah,
I believe it 100%. We
yeah.
walked down the hill. We went down to the tree, the
Mhm.
Dale Earnhardt tree,
Mhm.
and the whole way, the whole walk, it just felt like there was people watching or something watching.
Mhm.
The whole every night when we were there, or that I went outside when it was outside, it's like I felt there was stuff watching,
Yeah.
and it was weird because I wasn't scared, like
Right.
because
Exactly.
if
It's like
it was something that wanted to kill me, it would have done it.
right. Yeah. No,
You
I could
know,
tell that they were curious about me as much as I was curious about them. Like I could definitely feel that feeling from the woods,
isn't
and
that weird?
yeah, I know if I had sat out there for any
No,
length of time, like yeah, I'm sure I would have seen
the
or
first
heard
time I went there,
it.
yep, the very first time I went there, I felt it, and it was weird. Like when I got there this time, because I went Wednesday, I
Mhm.
went the day before, and as soon as I pulled in, it was like, wow, this just like this feeling like, oh, I'm home. Like, oh,
Mhm.
hey, my family's in there, yay! And you feel like there's something outside.
Yeah.
There's something there, and like I said, I'm not scared, but
Right.
I mean, I'm sure if a 10-foot tall, 12-foot tall, hairy thing is standing in front of me, as big as I am, I'm still going to be like, and just freeze and
Right.
lock up and not do
Right.
anything, But I
Yeah.
wasn't afraid like that at all. But I
Right.
definitely felt
Yeah.
like there's something watching. Ted, had an experience. He was, I laugh now because he said he walked in and Karen and Brian were like, dude, what the hell happened to you? You look like you saw a ghost because it was
Mhm.
pale white. He said he was standing right on, on the back steps there where Brian does the show there.
Mhm.
Well, he said he was standing there looking out into the backyard and he saw what he thought was a super tall person walk
Mhm.
across the yard. And he was like, holy shit.
Mhm.
It freaked him the hell out.
Yeah, and I mean, Karen's mentioned that like they're not things that you can catch. Like if you see them, it's because they want you to see them. Like you're not gonna just like you could search in the woods for 100 years and they could
Right.
be there and you won't see them if like if they don't want you to. And yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
Pacific
I don't
Northwest where I
know.
live, like they're supposed to be all around over here. But yeah, I haven't ever encountered one, but I have heard
I
a lot of
bet.
hiking stories of people encountering something and
What
they're not
was
always
the
friendly. And but
what was the famous footage? Patterson, Gimblin, Patterson, something. It was in 1967,
mm,
the year I was born. Holy shit! But it's the one where it's a female. They say it's a female, and you can see breasts, and
mhm,
it's walking. That footage, I understand that today, and maybe even before today, there was the capability of doing prosthesis and shit like that
mhm,
to be phony, but that shit looked too real. The way the muscle moved under the skin, the hair, where the
right.
knees were. I mean, that femur bone, that wasn't proportional to a human being femur
Mhm,
bone. They were that's why they're so tall, so big. That shit looks so real to me.
right.
I don't think it's fake footage. And then when
Right.
you watch the stabilized versions and you really look at it, I
Mhm.
don't know, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think they're real.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what they are. You ever hear of Lloyd Pye?
I don't think so.
Really, this is
Mm.
interesting. Lloyd Pye, he has since passed away. I believe he died 2018. He's suddenly got cancer and died. It
Hmm.
was like everybody was like, "What the fuck? What happened?" It was very suspicious. But
Hmm.
his thing was he had a skull that was given to him by a woman who was a nurse who said she found it when she was a little girl in Mexico and had it in the back of her closet for like 50 something years
Hmm.
and gave it to him. And he tried to see what it was made out of because the shape wasn't right. The skull was way too big, the eyes were
Mhm.
small. People said, no, 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 that's what happens when you have this disease where you build all this pressure inside your brain cavity. And as they're growing, the skull gets too big. And they
Hmm.
said, well, that might be the case, but the material isn't right. They took a sample and they allegedly found pieces of it that were unidentifiable. They were like, we don't know what this material is. It
Oh.
doesn't appear on any charts like it's from Earth. It was the thing.
Huh.
And and now I still I still think they have something that's a thing, but I don't think
Mhm.
it's from trillions of light years away anymore. Andromeda. I think it
Right.
might be across the other pond and the ice ring and whatever's
Right.
going on out there. you know,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
crazy. And what
Well,
he talks about is, I'll make it quick.
oh, you're fine.
Oh, he talks about the Bigfoot, Yeti, um, all the different names, all the different parts of the world, and he said that they're similar to humans. How there's only a certain different, I guess we would say races, uh,
Mhm.
black, white, Asian, that kind of thing. And he says there's certain ones of them too. And that they originally existed before us is his theory, and that he goes, well, people say, oh, we would have found them. And he goes, I don't think so. He goes, look at where we live. We live along shorelines, along coasts. There is
Mhm.
so much land, so much woods, so much area that human feet haven't even touched.
Oh yeah.
And that's in our country where they say it's overpopulated, and it's not true.
Oh,
And he's like,
exactly. Yeah. Whenever I fly at night, I really, really notice how few lights there are. Like
are
the
you secretly a
unbelievable.
pilot too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Um, but no,
You
like
fly an F-15s,
the
got it.
just the unbelievable amount of open space where there is not lights for miles and miles. And I mean, it's like we've admitted that we can only search in, maybe 10% of the ocean. And I mean, if you walk out into the woods, like how likely is it that you're going to find any animal, like it just, and things like this, like if they
Right.
know where people are, they have heightened senses or whatever, like they can easily avoid us. I mean, there's jungle animals that people say have been extinct for 50 years, and then the bitch turns up in the jungle somewhere and
Mm.
they're like, well, wait a second. Like we crossed this thing off because it was extinct. No, it got smart enough that it hid from the humans. Like it's like animals are so much
Where'd
smarter
you
than we
come
give them
from?
credit for. And
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. For sure.
And so yeah, I
I
mean if
could see
something
that.
is like an interdimensional kind of being, like if it doesn't want us to see it, we're not gonna see it. And I
You
mean,
know,
yeah, Karen has mentioned people have uh said like they saw a Bigfoot and they tried to shoot it at point blank range and the thing just disappeared into
I've heard
nothingness.
that.
Like
I've
like
heard
you
that.
can't catch them if it doesn't want to be
Yo,
caught. And
I don't know what that thing was that was above our head. It absolutely was there. The
mhm,
three of us saw that object. It was above our heads. It floated up and just vanished. And it wasn't like it was, you know, smoke or a cloud. It was an object. You could see it. It had
mhm,
substance. It was a thing, and it just
hmm.
I've heard that about that somebody tried to shoot it and poof, gone.
Yeah, just gone. And so yeah, I mean,
Do
yeah,
you
whatever.
know do you know anything about genetics? That
Mm,
because that
not
guy
really.
Lloyd Pye, he also talked about man, it's been a long time, but it was years I watched this lecture, and he talks about how humans we have one less DNA strand than every other mammal or animal, period, on Earth, on the plane. And that
Mhm.
he's suspicious. He has a whole theory about aliens and creation and things like that and how we were made. But I found that interesting that why would we be slightly different like that? Is that
Mhm.
is that what makes us what we are? I mean, I understand, animals and the dog knows he has feelings. He knows he's him and he loves his
Right.
family or whatever. But does he really understand he's a dog in this world? And, you know, so is that why we're the way we are? Because I agree with you that we're bound to this realm, whatever you want to call it. There's no way to, there's, that's it. This is what this body belongs to and how it works is
Right.
because it's here. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with
I
that.
I can't really imagine living off off this plane. Like I yeah, I just really think that you would get really sick being here. Carrie Skates said, "Do you think there's been a lot more things spotted in the sky since they've increased the spraying?" I think honestly that the spraying has increased to stop us from looking at the sky so much because I mean,
Yeah.
Pro 777 has been looking at the sky for what freaking decades, and I really think that like the flat earth people, we have affected a lot of stuff. Like SpaceX started changing their launches based on stuff that we've said and complained about, and I really think that they realize like, uh-oh, like these people are realizing that it's not it's not this crazy giant ball of gas spinning us a billion miles this way and that. And like I really think that the spraying has increased to stop us from looking at the sky so much because we are learning way too much about this realm just by looking at the sky. And even though the sky doesn't determine the shape of the floor that we're standing on, we still are able to learn so much from the sky, realizing that it's a giant clock and the way that the sun and the moon moves over us and the stars, all that stuff. Like, I think the spraying is completely to just try and stop us from doing that because, like, I've thought for a while that this mask virus lockdown shit that's been going on this year, really thought that it was a big attack on flat earth because we had more meetups and conferences last year than ever before, and every time those things happen and people get in such a high vibration state, they have such next level conversations, and we were just building too much community of aware people that they're like, guys, like we have got to stop this because they're going to realize too much what we're doing to them and how we're fucking with them and
I
how
know.
we are doing all that. And so they're just like, we have to keep them apart. We have to keep them from talking to each other. We have to
It's
like, we got to
insane.
shut this shit down. And yeah, it's
That
yeah.
immediately popped into my head. Like the second they started doing it, and then it was all the old people, and all the old people are dying, and then they
Mhm.
put them all together so that they could die off, and they weren't even giving them meds in Italy at first. They were letting them die.
Right.
It's like, are they doing that so that we can't talk to them? Because as soon as David put that video up, everyone started talking to older people.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Oh, we're so stupid. Why have we been doing this for the last 5 years?"
Right.
I've been waiting to get a second alone with one of the guys from my firehouse who's 105 years old,
Oh, wow.
and he's fucking sharp as, oh my God, he knows everything. He'll tell you everything. The body ain't there anymore. Like, he can't do the onions and farming like he used to, but he fucking tell you everything. And I
Right.
totally want to ask him, but I don't want to do it around the other guys and,
For sure.
and start a whole deal. I got to remember my audience.
Yeah. I mean, it's abundantly clear that we have affected things that like the controllers don't want us to know. I mean, they took down the YouTube scoreboard because Mark Sargent was talking about it.
That's
Like
so
that's
fucking nuts.
pretty obvious. Like nobody else gave a shit about that, and he was talking about that for what, months, and
Yep.
then yeah, as soon as we passed the president, then they're like, gone, you're done. And I mean, like I noticed immediately after the SpaceX car in space debacle, the biggest thing that Mark complained about was that they didn't show the Falcon Heavy like canister rocket thing dropping away from the car. Well, now they do show that. Like, and it was within a launch or two of that other one that they started adding that in. And like there's no doubt that they're listening to
And the very next day they re-showed their video as though it was unedited and was the
Mm-hmm.
original live
Yep.
version, and I recorded it, and I was like, that's not what it was. I watched it. Those two, everything was off, and then they
Mm-hmm.
corrected it. Those leg things that flipped down weren't on the camera right. They
Yep.
fixed that. The way they landed was exactly the same exact video, the smoke cloud, same shape, just like a half a second off.
Yep.
It was so ridiculous. And when the car thing, if you remember, there was an edit, and I don't see it anymore, where they show the inside, like the thing is supposed to blow away. It's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the car in space, but then there's a cut for some reason, and it shows it back inside with like something that looks like a camera next to it or a projector,
Mm-hmm.
like it was a fuck up, and I don't see that anymore. There's
Right.
all crazy shit, crazy shit,
Yeah. I
and
mean, yeah,
I try to speak. Oh, go.
oh, you're fine. Yeah, I was just saying, like, there's no doubt that they listen to what we say, and they change stuff accordingly to it. So it's almost like, should we just like stop talking about it and let them fuck everything up? But then at the same time, like, you're not gonna stop us from talking about it. I mean, you're just not. And I just don't get how people like can't see it. Like, people just keep defending it, like, no matter how, like, I
Yeah,
mean, really, how many CGI glitches do you have to see on the ISS before it sinks in, like, maybe that isn't for real, like, gee. Like,
that's totally what I say to people. I'm like, look, first off, let me just ask a question. If something is real, would you take the time to fake it for people, or would you just show them the real thing, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And most everybody agrees that's a logic thing that makes sense. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then why in the fucking hell would they put up video that they tell you is live feed of things going on in the ISS, and there's digital glitches that
Yeah.
clearly indicate CGI and editing? I'm a moron boomer who uses OBS in my house, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the scenes I come up with look like, yo, Dottie's really Supergirl. Holy shit! I mean, some of
Right.
them look so fucking real.
Right.
So don't tell me that they can't do better, and
Right.
they clearly fuck up in front of us.
Oh,
So what
yeah.
does that mean? Is that on purpose so that we waste time trying to share that with sheeple who don't want to hear it anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the deal with that? Because it's clearly fuckery.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what other
I've
word to
thought
use.
I've thought about doing like streams on the, just like watch the ISS or stuff like this, but like, I'm at the point that it's like just like beating a dead horse. Like, I know it's fake, I know it's bullshit, I know they're in a pool, I know they're in a uh the zero-G plane. I
Yeah.
know all that stuff, and so to me, I'm like, I don't have the patience to sit through that stuff and like convince, or tell myself again, like, oh, look what they're doing again. It's just like, guys, if you're gonna figure it out, like, you got to go watch the shit yourself and figure it out. Like, I'm not gonna do a live stream and take your hand through it and like argue with all the, some people love like waking people up who are in their beginning stages. I don't enjoy it at all. I'm just like, talk to me when you have figured it out and you can tell me something that I can learn from you, because I just don't have the like emotional patience to like try and convince people that it's not real. And it's like, how the fuck can you not see that, like, they're literally on a wire, or they're like, that's a bubble right there, or I don't
Yeah.
have the patience to convince people of
I
that.
I
Hey,
can't
Doc Michael.
I can't do the
um,
activism thing and go and get in
yeah,
people's
I
faces.
I
If
commend the
if
people who do
somebody
it,
wants to hear
but
it
yeah.
while we're talking and it comes up and they're willing to listen, great. I'll give you some information. I don't ever, I tell people first off, don't fucking believe anything I'm telling you. You got to look
Mm-hmm.
this up yourself and
Yeah.
use your own discernment. And I always start with that, disclaimer. This is on you, because I can't force you to do anything, and that's not good. You have to, and you might make the wrong decision still, but you're making the decision.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
you
Uh,
can't, you can't just blindly follow. You have to at least try and understand what you're doing and what you're seeing and what you're hearing.
Right. It's a Nathan Thompson, his big Flat Earth Globe discussion group on Facebook that got shut down the day of
That's right.
Flatoberfest. Well, and
That's right.
he's already started a new one. Like the next day, he started a new group. This time though, it's so much better because their banhammer is so very heavy in that group that they're like, look, we're not going to tolerate you coming in here asking the same stupid ass questions that you can find easily in the search bar. Like, we're not going to hold your hand and wipe your ass while you try and piddle your way through figuring out if these people are lying or what the fuck ever. And so, like, as soon as people try and start pulling their dumb shit, then we just say mod in the group, and a mod, one of the 50 mods will come in and ban the person. And like, it is so much better because people can actually have a conversation in there. We can actually learn from each other. We can share like good funny memes or whatever. Like, it's so much better because the
Just
other
don't ever
group.
share the meme of the dinosaurs flipping off the flat Earth.
I know, right? That's funny.
Oh,
But
fuck.
yeah, I mean, there was so many trolls in that other account, or that other group. Like, I couldn't handle interacting with it because no matter what you said, you would have 50 freaking idiots coming in and telling you all this just nonsense that doesn't make any sense about anything, isn't on point, isn't anything. And yeah, now it's so much better. Like, it's
You mean
actually,
it's not good to ask how does a carburetor work on flat Earth?
yeah, seriously, I just like, I can't do it. Yeah,
I got those all the time, and I always said it works better on a flat Earth. What do you mean?
right.
The way the float bowl is set up, it works level with the fluid being level within the carburetor. That's why a lot of them are angled and have a plate. It's the whole idea. See, I
Yeah,
told you I went to school for car stuff.
right. But yeah, it's like, so there's so much stuff. It's like people really just like hate hearing, oh, you have to go and do your own research. It's like, yeah, well, sorry, but you do. Like, we are not here to hold your hand and baby you through that. Like, if you would like that, then go and talk to the people who enjoy talking about that. But don't come to our group just to troll us and just to be stupid and just like, yeah, I can't handle that just like childish behavior. Like, it's so not necessary. And yeah, it's such a waste of time.
Well,
Like I'm like,
well,
for some reason I still have like a NASA page in my Instagram feed, and like I don't even
NASA.
know why it's still there because I don't even like, I used to be on there to troll them. Like, I would always just like point out stuff that was inconsistent and nonsense with their shit. But like, you just get spammed with so many comments from the retards who are literally robots. Like, most of those people are AI. I'm just like, I'm not going to argue with someone who doesn't have a profile picture and like doesn't have anything that they're following except NASA shit. And like, obviously you're not a real person. And so like, I don't even know why I have that page still in my subscriber feed. But yeah, I'm just
Oh,
like, I
Doc
don't put it.
Michael. Doc Michael pointed out that carburetors are installed upside down in Australia. I'm sorry, I am a dummy.
Brandon Bonifant says, I wish Dottie would hold my hand. You just wish that I would give you that squeaky cheese already.
Yeah, I hear you. I I hear him.
Building that ISS at those speeds is surely the greatest achievement ever.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. Oh,
yeah.
it's such
Yeah, I was thinking
bullshit.
about that the other day. Like when they're like training to be an astronaut and they have to go into that thing that spins them really, really fast and
The
like
centrifuge.
people always throw up in it, all that stuff. That thing is not spinning anywhere even close to what the ISS is supposed to be going. I mean, to remind everyone, the ISS, they say it's going over 17,000 miles an hour. And I mean, there's just no possible way that anyone can survive going that fast. I mean, if you're in that stupid spinny thing and you throw up going, what, 1,000 miles an hour or however fucking fast it goes, there's no possible way that you can go faster than that and not die. Like it's not. It's so infuriating that people they just love it so much. Like going over to my son's dad's
I
house,
used to. I used
he
to.
has he has this. There's a globe on the counter. There's a
Ugh.
Lego lunar lander and there's a Lego ISS. And every time I'm over there, I just want to break all of those things. I'm like, you have these things just sitting
You gotta
on your kitchen
pick up the
counter.
globe and
Oh
smash
my
the
god,
2 Lego things with it.
dude,
And film it. And film it.
the lunar lander thing, like the
Be like, what
freaking
the fuck is wrong with
homeless
you?
person,
Smash can smash.
the homeless person's meth house. Like I oh my gosh, that thing, every time I see a picture of it, I swear the pictures get worse. Like I
I
just,
know.
yeah, it's just infuriating to me.
I
It's
tell
like,
my
oh my god,
family
I
to
don't want to kid
go.
around.
Yeah, I'd send them right to NASA.gov and I tell them to look at their photos. And I just mention a couple things like, well, they took so many photos in the amount of time they were there. They had to take, you know, an average, and it was seconds for each picture. And
Mm-hmm.
every picture is beautiful, perfect, framed, no glare, crystal clear. And they were shooting blindly from their chest. They had no way
Mm-hmm.
to aim the cameras, all this ridiculousness. And then I tell them, look at the lunar lander, like you said, the homeless
Yeah.
tweaker shelter. You gotta give Jake 100% credit for that because that is fucking on point. It
It's
totally is. I've seen better tweaker shelters. Okay.
There's literally a doorknob on the side, and there's a plastic cup sitting on the top of it. I mean, you can't.
And oh,
Uh,
you want to hear
make,
something?
oh,
This is an interesting. I think it's an interesting story. Years ago, I was doing an insurance claim, looking at a vehicle, talking to this guy, and that was probably 10 years ago, and he was probably mid 70s at the time. And we're talking, and there's some chemtrails going over, and I'm like, "Oh man, what do you think about that?" And, trying to see if what he'd say, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know what they're doing, and blah blah blah." And I brought up UFOs, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I think there's definitely aliens and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he goes, "You want to hear something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he goes, "When I was a kid, I worked for NASA." I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I
mm,
was 19 years old and I was an engineer and I thought I was going to get fired." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, I worked on the lunar lander project
oh my
and
god.
it was all completely taped off. You were not allowed to walk within feet of it because if you drop something or if you tripped, you might break something on the limb." And it never clicked. It didn't click because at the time I was still believing in UFOs. I didn't believe in the moon landing, but I did believe in aliens at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And he says, "Yeah, well, one day I had to go grab a tool and I cut through the taped off area like I wasn't supposed to, and I tripped and I put my foot through the lander." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I put a hole in it
Oh
and I
my
had to,
god.
and I thought they were going to fire me. And he said that they said, no, we won't fire you, but you have to do the repair. So we had to fix it. And I never, it didn't dawn on me to ask him what the materials were, how they made it. But now I picture him telling me this, and I want to be like, what the fuck? This thing is supposed to go into space, and
Yeah.
you tripped and put your foot through it? I mean,
Well, I mean, the
I,
the whole
I
the
don't
whole
even
in the
know.
ISS.
Is that evidence? I mean, I guess it's hearsay, but I mean, to me, it was very real. And that man telling me was, like I said, I've always been good at body language. He believed
Mhm.
what he was telling me. That
Right.
was no bullshit to him. So I had no reason to not believe him.
Hmm.
Crazy, crazy.
Well, I mean, they plugged the hole in the ISS with their finger and then duct tape. Like, come
That
on, people. I
that
mean,
is the most absurd thing.
it's
I
supposed to
show
be space proof.
the did you
Shit.
see the Mark sent it to me. It's a GIF of the it's a railroad tank, like you fill it up with milk or something, like a big round tanker,
Mm-hmm.
and they hook a vacuum line to it, and they create a vacuum on the end, and it's just a small hose, and they fucking flip the valve, and open it up so it would equalize, because now there's a vacuum created on the contents of the container. And it's such a violent thing that it literally crushes a railroad car like it's a Dixie cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I show that to people, and they're like, what? And I'm like, that's the power of vacuum. You think you put your fucking finger to the hole on the side of the fucking ISS? Are you
Mm-hmm.
retarded? Are you doing that in a nuclear submarine at, you know, 1,000 feet below water, the pressure coming in? You couldn't handle that. And the vacuum is even worse, going the other way. More pressure.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
on
ridiculous.
like on a submarine, even the lowest level person on there knows the procedure of what you do if there is a leak or a breach or anything like that. The
Fucking A, they
lowest,
do.
the lowest level person knows what the fuck you do immediately. And Don Pettit, who is supposed to be a high level, very trained astronaut, is like, well,
Yep.
what do you do if there's a leak? Well, we plug the leak. I'm sure there's a procedure for it. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, I just, I was wondering why are like when I was growing up, we were always told that like astronauts are in like peak physical health. They're like,
Absolutely.
incredibly strong, very active. Why the fuck are they all in their 40s? Like, you
And
can't.
and
You're
I
really
I
telling
think
me that a 45-year-old is in better shape than a 20-year-old who just got out of his boot camp, just got out of this and that, whatever? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah,
no.
I'll give you a fit 45-year-old dude who is off the charts, but none of these guys are. Look at them. They're all feeble little geeks. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. That's not what I ever was told that an
Yeah,
astronaut
like
was.
I'm I'm not a tall or incredibly strong woman, but I'm pretty sure that I could break Don Pettit in half like a piece of paper. Like, I mean, he's so skinny and frail looking. I
Oh my
just,
God.
oh God, like Scott Kelly, like he's not even in shape. He's just like fat and pudgy. Like, what the fuck are these people doing? I just,
Yeah,
it's
I
like they
don't
just
get it
love
either.
pushing pushing the stupid lie in
And
our
people just suck it
face.
up. They're like,
Um,
"Oh, just shoot it all over me." I love it. I love it. Thank you.
I I
Give
mean,
me
if
more.
anyone has listened to Owen Benjamin in the last couple months, he has pointed out very clearly that all the space rockets and stuff, he's like, those are dicks, dude. Like, obelisks and rockets, they're giant dicks. There's nothing else that they are. It's all dick envy. And they're like, I'm going to shoot this rocket into the sky. Like, no, you're just excited that you think that there's a bigger dick around than your dick. So sorry, guys, but you're just fanalizing a bunch of dicks. Like, it's
Damn.
so true. Like,
I never felt so busted.
it's all dick worship.
Too funny. That is
Oh,
too
God.
funny. They totally are. And they totally make it like the Falcon Heavy or whatever. It's like, really? I mean, like, you couldn't make it look more dick-like, really?
Yeah. I mean, there's no, like, once you see it, you really can't unsee it. And then every time he'll like show
Yeah.
another picture, he's like, oh, here's their newest rocket. I'm like, they're just getting more dick like at this point. I mean, they're really not even trying to hide it. Like,
I feel like it's Disney, like they just hide them right in front of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dicks everywhere.
Yeah. They don't try to hide it at all. They're just like, hey, look at this big dick, kids. Like, we're going to shoot it up into the fucking Milky Way. Like, what the fuck ever, guys. Like, it's just, oh my God. It's all about dick worship. It's, oh, man.
Everything is just
Brandon
insane.
said that's what he said.
Everything is just so fucked up.
Doc, I'm going to stop commenting before I get booted. Highly unlikely that you can get booted. I actually...
Yeah, I think we're talking about dicks. Why would he get booted?
Right.
I'm pretty sure there's an unwritten rule. If people are talking about dicks, you don't get booted for what you're saying. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't know what happened. Did Dottie leave? That's weird. I'm by myself. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know what happened. Maybe her machine died. Or the battery died. I don't know. I'm still talking. You're unfortunately still listening. Sorry about that. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. I'm sure all of you caught Brian's video, him and Karen getting stuck.
That's hilarious. I left my own stream. I forgot I have to open a
There
new tab. Like, I'm so stupid at computers.
That's all right. I don't mind carrying you.
I just wanted to give people some wrenches, and then I leave my own stream. Like, how retarded.
It's okay. They wanted a long time with ZULUONE.
I am retarded bear. Like, there's very, very good reason. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
What a freaking battle that was.
That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, let me get here in chat.
That's funny.
And because then, let me see. There we go. And moderator. Because then if anybody decides to come in and try and talk shit on my channel, all of you can ban them. Because only I get to talk shit. And maybe Zulu, but wrenches.
Yeah, and I only get to get away with a little bit. So
who else is here?
Careful.
Who else is here? Yeah, pretty much my only rule for like banning people is just like ban them if they're retarded and talking unnecessary shit. Like, that's pretty much it. Or just being like gross to people in the chat.
That's kind of similar to my rule. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Like, you can be like gross, but not like, you can't be like, I don't know. Don't be like a creep Don't be like a rapey
Yeah,
creep.
right. People have sense of humor, right? You know when you're crossing the line and being a douche.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, sweet. Got y'all some wrenches. Use your
There you
power
go.
wisely, because I'll ban you all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wrenches! Wrenches for everyone.
Love you guys. What'd you do? Take mine away?
Oh, yeah, I banned you.
Okay. Banned for life. Banned for life.
Doc, you seem to be here. I don't know if you left. You seem to still be here.
Doc Michael.
Must have something to do with the Don Petite giant phallus into the sky. Yeah, I kicked myself out for all the dick talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I banned myself. Right. You banned yourself. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Too much dick talk. Banned.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But it's so fucked up because it's true. That's what gets me. Is there's so many things like my family gets mad at me because they'll just bring up any old subject, like anything. I don't know. It could be Heinz ketchup, and I'll be like, "Oh, do you know there's a conspiracy about that?" And it's like they're sick of it, and I'm like just amazed because there's usually a conspiracy about it, and it's like, what
Right.
the fuck is up with this world?
Yeah, there's I didn't realize like how just different I am until I'm like around my normal family or whatever, and you know, they just bring up whatever random thing, and I'm just like, do I have a couple hours to go into why that's nonsense? Like I just don't have the time to explain to them why I will not ever go to there's like this bullshit like live dinosaur exhibit at the Puyallup Fairgrounds or whatever, and I'm like, I just really don't have the time or the want to explain to you why I have literally no desire to go to anything like that ever in any capacity at all. I just, I'm like, I will never spend my money on going to a fake fucking dinosaur exhibit thing. Like, I just, like it's already a battle enough that like my son's dad, you know, has the shitty lunar lander homeless tree fort on his counter, and you know my son has to be around that shit, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend my money to go and indoctrinate him even more. Like, I'm already battling enough shit to like have him think, you know, outside the box or whatever. I'm like, this is why we throw so many knives, because like a knife is real and tangible and right there in your hand. And if you throw it, it's either going to spin correctly and land in your target, or it's not. Like you can't fake that. You just, it either hits the target or it doesn't. And there's no explaining involved in that except, oh, maybe you need to move back a little farther so that it spins enough, or you know, maybe you need to shoot from straight on at your target and then it'll hit. Like that's the only explaining that goes into it. But yeah, I can't do it.
I want to, like I said, I want to do it Jason Statham style. Like in the movie Expendables, there's a scene where him and Mickey Rourke are like, you know, having a swinging dick contest, and the idea is to throw the knife and get closest to the bullseye, you know, your pocket knife, whatever you had on him. And he didn't flip it, he like throws it like a spear, and it's like it's just, I don't know, it looks badass. I know it's movie shit, but it looked cool.
I mean, there has to be someone who did it, or else they wouldn't have got the idea to put it in the movie, you know. Someone somewhere that could throw a knife like that, so why not you?
Maybe. I do know how to use also a butterfly knife. That's a rare skill. I see a lot of people don't. I thought they did. I didn't think it was that hard. I picked it up when I was like 10 or 11. I was at the fair, and that was the 80s. The carnies didn't give a fuck if you were 5 or 30. If you won the big giant knife, you got the big giant knife. You know, they didn't give a
Hmm.
shit. And I won a butterfly knife. Excuse me. And I won I don't know. I just picked it up and started pip, 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 both hands. I showed my son the other day, and he was like, "Really?" I don't know. I just know how to do it.
That's awesome.
It's a cool. I mean, I don't know that. I don't really carry a butterfly knife. I usually have a little Kershaw that has a little assist nub on it,
Hmm.
and I've had that thing for like ever. And I rule number one: never leave the house without a knife. Always, always.
Good rule.
Ever
Good
ever
rule.
since I was a child, and it's not really for a weapon. It can be used that way, but it's really a tool, invaluable. I swear. I mean, all the time. Always have a pocket knife.
Hmm.
Gotta have it. Good shit. Yeah, I want
Good.
to get good at it. I want to throw them. I think
Yeah.
a two by.
They're.
I mean, not a 2x4. A piece of plywood will work. I have a piece,
Yeah. I was trying to throw into a piece of like, I think it's like particle board, and I don't know. I was like dinging the board, but I don't know if I was just not at the right distance or what. But yeah, my knives would not stick into the board. So yeah, lately I've
do you
been just
throw them
throwing.
really hard, or do you just use
Um,
the sharpness?
I mean, I throw them fairly hard. It kind of depends on like how triggered I am that day and like pissed off. It will depend
Shit.
on my
All
throwing.
right.
Um,
I'm
but
taking
yeah, I
notes.
don't know. Like when I'm just like throwing for fun, I don't throw like crazy hard. But
Okay.
when I
Just
throw
wondering.
at my target, they definitely go into that, no problem. But I mean, my target is just like uh, pieces of foam all stacked together and wrapped in like this plastic shit or whatever. And so like it's super easy to throw into that. But one of my knives
Gotcha.
actually the other day it went like fully into the target, and I had to like kind of move around the foam pieces to actually get my knife back out, because most of the time they'll like part of it will be sticking out of the target. But yeah, the other day I threw it just perfectly that it went
Mm,
100% into the target. So that was
nice.
kind of funny, but I retrieved the knife, so it's all good. But
Nice.
yeah, I definitely
Nice.
want a bigger target.
Yeah,
But
I want to try it.
yeah.
It should be fun. I was watching Tomahawks, and they have that here. There's a place where you can, spend a couple dollars and throw the tomahawks, and that doesn't look like anybody throws them hard at all. Like, because they usually have like a log, like cut off, and you throw at the round end of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah,
and
yeah,
it doesn't look like they throw them hard at all. Like they just lightly flip it and they th- stick them.
yeah.
That'd be
The throwing hatchets are super cool. This comment is super funny. The knife throwing is subconsciously another dick thing.
well,
Oh,
hey,
that's
not for
awesome.
nothing, but Daddy got me into it, so I
That's
don't know what to say
awesome.
about that.
Yeah, what can I say? I used to love the dicks in space, but
That's great. And see, and that's another thing about that stupid car that just makes me think of other stuff is that I try to think about the things that I know and understand, and that windshield wouldn't be able to take the temperature variations. The
hmm
the material, the plastic would have melted. I mean, the rubber, just so many different things. It's so crazy. And people believe it.
yeah,
And they're like, no, it's lost. They lost it. It got lost on the way to Mars. They don't know where it is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I
No
know where it is. It's in
impossible
a
tracking on
fucking.
that.
It's in a warehouse in Encino. Okay, I know where it is. Fucking douches.
Dr. Michael says, I got my ninja stars in Texas and then found out they're illegal here in California. They're only illegal if
Of
people
course they
know
are.
you have them. Ha! That's how you
Yeah,
get away with that.
yeah.
Live
It's
in the
only
middle of
illegal if you
nowhere,
get caught.
have all the shit you want, and
That's
yay,
why I
penis
want
to the
out of New
moon.
York. I want out of New York. What was
Oh,
that?
man.
What was that one?
Doc Michael, he said, yay, penis to the moon.
Penis. Hashtag penis to the moon. Nice.
Oh, that's so
Nice.
awesome.
Throwing
Such good
spikes,
moments.
knives, and axes are fun to throw. Yeah.
I
Yes, they
I
are.
really want to get some throwing hatchets. There's some nice ones
Damn
on
you,
Joy
Amazon.
Amazon.
They're
Yeah,
$24.99 for
yeah.
handmade tomahawks.
There was one that had three hatchets and three throwing knives. That one I think
I,
was like 35.
oh, that was 50 something on Amazon. I was gonna buy that, but I was like, I'll wait.
Yeah,
I want to
bastards.
buy the wooden handle tomahawk.
Nice.
They're
Yeah,
real
I
cool.
like the Swiss and Smith and Wesson knives that I got because they're just all one solid piece of steel. And yeah, you don't have to. There's not like a separate handle on them or like separate hilt, anything like that. I kind of like
Yep.
the just solid piece of steel. And
I have
yeah,
a couple of Smith and Wesson knives.
they make a really like loud clangy noise when you hit them against, because like I have my target up against this like cement block kind of retaining wall out in my garden area, and yeah, they make a really nice clangy loud absurd noise when you miss the target. Should give your hand at throwing spikes. I'm down. Yeah, I'm down to throw whatever shit. I have my bow and arrow and my taser, which I don't ever get to like use my taser for anything. I just have that. But yeah, then I have my throwing knives.
You have to test your equipment, so I guess you got to find a neighborhood squirrel or cat or something.
Apparently, yeah.
Terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mean to give you bad ideas.
I would be the worst. Like, I'd be like really terrible in a survival situation because like I can grow a lot of food, but if I ever have to like gut a squirrel, sorry, but we're gonna go hungry because that ain't gonna be me. Like, not gonna happen in any way.
That's funny.
I'm not the
That is
gutting the
hysterical.
squirrel type. Like, you don't
The
need.
first time I field dressed a deer, I threw up all over myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't need someone who is going to like cry and have to like pray over the
Well,
dead animal
I
or
won't do
something like
that.
that. And yeah, so in the apocalypse situation, please kindly put me in charge of the gardening district because I'll be able to help you with that. But yeah, I actually just harvested.
Right.
I harvested some spinach leaves for a wrap the other day and a bunch of little baby carrots because all the tops got eaten, and so I figured they were probably going to die if I didn't pull the carrots.
They look
And then
delicious.
I harvested a turnip as well. So I grew all that stuff in my garden, but I need 100% more gardening stuff that I can grow in.
You do the growing. I'll do security, EMT, and fix the vehicles.
Nice.
You do the growing, and we'll get somebody else to do the hunting.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
we'll be good.
like, I can protect my garden with my bow and my throwing
you go.
knives, but yeah, as far as like going out and gutting a squirrel or something, no, you better just hope that I can like find blackberries or else we all gonna die.
We could find that. I haven't had a chance to read that book. I got a Peterson's guide. They're pretty cool. They're pretty comprehensive. They're small and they have tons of different things. Animals. I went with edible vegetation in the East Coast. I figured this is where I live. I should see what's in my yard that I could eat and live on.
Right?
It has like over 250 varieties of plants or something like that. Oh no, I'm sorry. Mishka said there's over 250 varieties of plants that, at least in this country, that you can eat to survive. The book, I think,
Nice.
it was like 170 or 150, but that's the whole East Coast. There's all kinds of stuff that, like you said about the dandelions.
Oh
I had
yeah,
no.
Pacific Northwest is
They grow like weeds,
it's
and you
ripe
could
with
totally
stuff
live
to
off of them.
harvest.
I had no
Through
idea.
through
I had no idea.
August and September, my breakfast is always fresh blackberries because they grow just insanely abundantly on the trail around the lake that I walk in the mornings. And yeah, that's like always my breakfast. And it's just awesome. I'm really missing fresh berries right now because those don't. Yeah, August and September are like prime picking months for blackberries, and then the rest of the year just like pay $12 for this tiny little container and they'll be sour and gross. Oh, just terrible.
I wonder how hard is it to just throw blackberries in the yard and get them to grow. Like, might attract more deer. I have a menagerie in my backyard. I mean, this whole
Oh,
entire COVID summer, we had
I
baby
have
squirrels, baby rabbits, baby birds, baby deer, the parents, and it was the strangest, like, COVID love backyard. Nobody was afraid. They didn't run from me with the dog. Everybody just did their own thing. The squirrels and the rabbits played. It was weird. Fucking weird.
you have
You know, I
yourself
mean,
a Disney movie right
totally.
there.
Totally was. It was, I'm telling you, it was insane. The entire summer, I sat on the back porch, had a cup of coffee, and just watched all the animals play. It
I
was
have
insane.
deer very frequently in my yard, and there's always squirrels and crows and the stray cats that my granny feeds. And but the other day, for the first time all year, we had a buck in our yard, and he had like his cute little antlers starting, and
Oh, they're
yeah,
so
he was just
adorable.
chilling because I
Bang, shoot him in the head. No, I'm sorry.
yeah
I'm
yeah
sorry. I'm
not me.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, because I threw my pumpkins out in the yard the other day, which me and my son, we rolled them down the
They'll
hill,
grow.
and then one of them, no, there's no seeds in them. They were just
Oh, okay.
our old pumpkins
Oh,
from
you already
Halloween.
gutted them. Right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, for sure. I already ate those
Right.
seeds. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yep.
This was the funniest thing. So I had a bag of pumpkin seeds with me specifically for the plane because I couldn't like God, what did I fly on the way back? It was no, it was United Airlines. They wouldn't let me talk to their like fake doctor or what the fuck ever to get my doctor's excuse. So I just like put the mask on to get on the plane, and then as soon as I sat down, as they said, even like throughout the flight, they're like, "Oh, if you're eating, you can remove your mask, but please promptly put it back on when you're done eating." Well, no, so I just sat my ass there and I took my mask off and I was eating my pumpkin seeds the whole time.
1,597 pumpkin seeds later.
I swear, like I literally was just eating them the whole time. And the guy who was sitting next to me, he got up and asked the flight attendant if he could move seats. He came back and asked me, "Are you planning on eating those seeds the whole flight?" And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. And then he moved seats, and he wouldn't sit next to me because I would not put my mask back on. And it was just like the funniest thing. I was like, are you even a grown man? Like, I'm 5'3" and I'm just like a feisty little woman, and you're a grown man and you're so scared to sit next to me that you asked to switch seats because I'm eating my pumpkin seeds and I won't put my stupid mask on. Like, what kind of man
moron.
are you? Like, you're
What a moron.
so weak.
It's like, so can I sit next to the cute girl who doesn't wear a mask, please? What's wrong with you?
It was hilarious. Well, because I was sitting down, and then I got up to, I don't know, get some water or something, whatever. And then when I came back,
punch somebody in the face, get a glass of water.
I came back. This was before I got on the flight. Well, I came back, and like, the airport has double rows of seats, so one are facing one way and the other are facing the other way. Well, I was sitting on the one side, and as I was coming back, someone was sitting on the other side, and he was wearing a Flatoberfest shirt, and I got like so excited because I was like, oh my God, there's a normie in the airport. And
nice.
And so I tapped him on the shoulder. It ended up being oh my God, it was Witsit Gets It, Austin Witsit. And
nice.
yeah, I tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like,
oh, wait, you sent me a picture.
I was like, nice shirt. He's like, oh, thanks. I was like, yeah, I was there too. And because I hadn't actually introduced myself to Austin during that time. I know we had seen each other, but I hadn't actually introduced myself to him. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was there too. And we chatted for a few minutes, and then they started boarding. And yeah, then when the guy sat next to me on the plane and then ended up moving, I was like trying to look around for where Austin was, because I was going to be like, hey, come sit by me. Like, we can both sit here without our masks on. Like, come hang out with me. But I couldn't figure out where he was on the plane. But yeah, I thought that was so awesome. He was on my connecting flight. And yeah, I got just like so excited seeing the back of his shirt. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's someone else on my plane who's awesome. Like, yay.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's so funny. But yeah, I couldn't believe that, like what a stupid, weak little man that, like, you're not gonna sit next to the cute girl because, ooh, she might be deadly. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna dare kiss you with my deadly mouth droplets since you're so scared and so weak.
What a douche. People are so
funny.
I don't get it. I mean, I see it too, like weird, like when you see couples, like the woman not wearing a mask but the man does, or the other way around. It's like, I don't get it.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I can't do it. It agitates me.
My local
it does everything
Safeway,
it's designed to.
The local Safeway that I go to, I am always the only person in there without a mask, or my son too, if he's with me. But like, I am always alone in being non-masked there. And I've never had one person say anything to me. Like, no one gives a shit at all. Everyone is always super nice. There was one time that I saw one guy with his son. They weren't wearing a mask. Well, the other day I walked by the register, and there was a guy at the register. He wasn't wearing one. And then I walked by one other person who wasn't wearing one. That was the most people I've ever seen in literally months. Like, Washington is without a doubt one of the worst states for this. I mean, the percentage of wearers versus non-wearers. I mean, I'm always the only person, or possibly one other person in the store. I am so outnumbered in this state. And yeah, it just, I was listening to Owen Benjamin's stream today. I'm kind of behind on his streams. I'm probably like 9-ish streams behind or whatever. It doesn't matter. But so I was listening to one, and he was playing this clip from this guy. His name is Made by Jim Bob, and he just does really funny memes. And Owen's had him on stream a few times, and he's awesome, super based, just really cool guy. Well, he was in Colorado. That's where he lives, and he was like sharing a video of his wife being like harassed in this grocery store, and like all these grown men were recording her and just like just very aggressive and harassy towards her, and
They've all been
it
trained.
reminded me of like
So shitty.
when it was really smoky here. I went to walk around IKEA so I could, like, all I wanted to do was go for a walk someplace that wasn't
remember
smoky.
this.
And three people, three workers there ended up harassing me so bad that I left the store, and like I was crying when I left, and like I should have talked to a manager and complained about it, but like he probably would have been wearing a mask too and retarded. And but like I wasn't even upset that they like of like what they said to me. I was so upset that nobody in the store would say anything. Like, had I been on the street, not in a store, like they literally could have kidnapped me or like raped me right there in the street, and nobody would have helped me because they would have thought, oh, well, this stupid girl should have been wearing her mask and then she would have been protected from this. Like, she brought this on herself. And like, I just felt so incredibly like let down from all society that it's like it's now acceptable that these seemingly grown men can just easily harass a lone woman with no problem. And yeah, like I just watching that video today, I was just like, wow, like
I have
yeah,
to
that really
say that
reminded me of my IKEA
I'm
experience.
required to kill someone who makes my favorite Dottie cry. What the fuck
Yeah,
is wrong with you people?
I was very just, yeah, I just felt so let down on like all the men in society that like as soon as like I know that I wasn't as calm as I should have been. I was very just vocal and upset about them bothering me. And so yeah, I didn't handle it well, but still, like as soon as I started like talking to them and telling them that they couldn't force me to wear a mask, that I had a medical condition, all this stuff, like this like circle of people around us, I swear they all collectively took like a giant step back to like give us wider space or whatever, because they all automatically assumed that I was toxic and deadly
Infectious.
and that like I was out to kill their nanas and all this shit. And like, yeah,
You mean you're not?
I felt so let down that I'm like if I had been on the street, like they literally could have robbed me, they could have kidnapped me, and nobody would have done anything. Nobody would have called the police. Nobody would have stepped in and said, hey, you shouldn't talk to this lone tiny woman like this. Like that's not okay. And yeah, it was just very, I don't know. It was very like powerful video to watch, but just very sad at the same time, because yeah, it's just like how is this okay that I'm like the only person in a store who's not wearing a mask, who's then standing up for what I believe in, and people think that it's okay to come at me
People
and
suck.
harass me and get in my
That's
face.
why we can't have nice things.
It just, yeah, it was very wild. Talk, Michael. I need to make some better hashtag Dottie cracks. Yeah, I probably have some pretty good one-liners of talking shit and rambling. but yeah,
I think they were all good, so I don't know.
yeah.
You got good one-liners.
Yeah, Brandon here, he lives in Seattle. Like, he lives in the heart of Seattle. I don't know how you're doing it still. I just, like, I can't imagine going into the city of Seattle right now. Like, even when I came back from Flatoberfest, I got back at like 10:30 at night, I think, and then I had like an hour and a half drive to get home. So I ended up just staying in a hotel close by the airport, so I didn't have to drive. And then the next day, I was sitting in the lobby waiting for my ride because it was so cold outside. Like, it was sunny, but it was so cold. And so I was just sitting in the lobby. There was nobody in there, no guests coming in, no guests coming out, nothing like that. I was in there for like maybe 10, 15 minutes or whatever. And then finally the guy behind the desk, he like very timidly asked me like, "Oh, are you waiting for an Uber?" And I was like, "Yeah, my ride's going to be here in just a few minutes. I'm just waiting for them." And
No,
he's like,
I'm just fucking hanging out, loitering. What the fuck?
yeah. And he's like, "Well, do you by chance have a mask?" And I was like, "No, I can't wear one." I was like, "I'm just sitting in here because it's really cold outside." And he's like, okay. I mean, you're really supposed to be wearing a mask in here." And I was like, "Look, I'm not gonna cause a big deal. It's fine." I'm like, "I'll just go sit outside. Like, my ride's almost here. It's really not a big deal." But yeah, when I'm sitting out there, I'm like, screw you. I'm like, it's so cold outside, and I'm like there's nobody in the hotel. Like, nobody's coming in, nobody's going out, nothing is going on. Like, the guy behind the counter was probably 10 feet away from me, and behind his stupid little plexiglass, he was wearing his mask. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll just go sit outside. Like, it's fine. But it's like, no, you know what? It's not fine. Like, I shouldn't have to
It's
sit
not.
outside
You're
in the
30 feet
cold.
away, asshole. Stop
Yeah, I shouldn't have to
whining.
sit outside in the cold because you're a stupid, weak little bitch. And like, yeah, he was nice about it and all that. Like, I knew he didn't want to bother me about it, but still, like, it's just like ingrained in people now that they have to do this. But that's why I go to the one Safeway that I go to, because nobody bothers me at all. Like, I've gone in there 100 times and no one has had a problem. No one said anything to me. And it even says on the sign, if people were not so retarded, like, just read the fine print. It says medical exemptions for small children and these people with this, these medical conditions, whatever, you don't have to wear a mask. Like, it literally says it on the sign. And so, like, nobody has bothered me at all about it. And so it's like, that's why I specifically go to that Safeway. It's like, I already have
Right.
anxiety about
Read your
people.
fucking sign, people.
Exactly. Like, I already have anxiety about people confronting me, and the possibility of like someone
Having to punch
antagonizing
somebody in
me
the
or
throat.
whatever. Yeah, like, I don't deal with confrontation well at all. I get really mad, like, I'll probably start crying. Like, it's not a good time for anybody. And so I just like really hope that I'm like, oh, please don't let this be a place that someone bothers me. Like, I don't want to deal with that. But
Uh,
honestly, I'm like,
here's a little secret, Dottie. It doesn't matter how big the person is. The bones in their feet are really small. Stomp the
right,
fuck. I'm serious. I'm
right.
totally serious. Right on the top of the foot. I don't give a fuck how big they are. Those bones are little and fragile. That and
Mhm.
actually, if you get grabbed, you know how there's like a little round little notch in your breastplate just at the bottom of your throat.
Uh-huh.
Well, right behind that little notch, there's a nerve. And if, again, doesn't matter how big they are, you jab your finger down in there, they will release you.
Yeah.
And again, the classic punch them in the fucking throat.
Right,
You
exactly.
know, the classics work. Doesn't matter, you're tiny. My sister's little and she's a black belt in two types of martial arts, and whenever we went out, I would laugh because I was big. So, of course, people want to pick on the big guy, and I
Right.
would just laugh because I wasn't the real threat there, for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are just fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like mind blowing that it's like, guys, it's been 7 months. Like, how long are
Yeah,
you gonna wear that fucking mask for? Like, you're really gonna keep doing this? And like,
they want to
I'm
wear it
still
forever.
I'm still unemployed, and I like am pretty secluded. I live in like a gated, wooded community down in Shelton, and like I I really don't leave my house a ton, and like honestly, when I do actually leave, I I really feel like I've like forgotten that the mask thing is still going on, and then when I go into Publix, I'm just like, man, y'all are still doing this?
Yeah,
Like you're
this is still
this
a
is really
thing.
still going on? Like I literally forget that it's still a thing, and that people
Oh,
are
you're
like, they're
killing.
still so scared over it. And yeah, I just like look at people, I'm like, I really just want to start asking them, like, how long are you going to do this for? Like, how many more months are you going to strap that thing to your face and think that you're saving people's lives? Like, how long are you going to do it? I need to know, because it's absurd at this point. Like it only takes 21-ish days to make a habit, and I'm so glad that like I'm just like so out of it that I forget that this is a habit of people now. Like I'm yeah, I'm really thankful that like it's not a habit of me, but like yeah, just seeing the other people, I'm like, you like, what are you doing? Why, what are you doing? I don't understand. Brandon says I'm a 1%er living in a gated community. Yeah, luckily people don't wear them when they're just like going for walks around the lake or whatever. It's just always going into town. But like the places I've gone, aside from IKEA and like very few other places, like
Oh,
most
and Dottie
most
has a
places
bow and
are
arrow,
nice
so
to
don't enter that gated community unless you have authorization.
exactly. Yep.
Fucking crazy world. Oh my god.
YouTube not
This
allowing you to click on a channel photo and take you to the channel anymore. No, they don't, Paul. You have to like specifically type in their channel. I don't know. So like
to sub somebody.
yeah,
You
to
can
sub
do
to
it from the
someone.
comments.
So
That's
hey
why I
y'all,
keep.
if you yeah,
Yes.
if you have
Sorry.
your
Sorry. Go.
if you
Go.
have your channel name, just drop it in the chat and people can subscribe to your channel that way, because YouTube has made it so it's
No, you can't do
really
it from chat anymore. Like you used to be able to click on somebody in
yeah, you
chat and
used
go
to
to
be
their
able to just click
channel.
on people's name or click on their picture or
Maybe,
whatever, but
maybe on PC you can still do it. I don't remember, but I know
yeah,
for sure you can't do it on the phone.
yeah.
But I've been saying now, trying to tell everybody, put in a comment, because they still allow from the comments. You can
Hmm.
click on somebody and sub them.
Yeah, you should be able to drop the link to your
And I
channel.
think you can do that, yeah, if you have a wrench.
Yeah, so if
Yep,
you
yep.
anyone wants to snag the link to their channel, go ahead and throw it in chat so people can subscribe. But yeah, YouTube they took that away, man, a few months ago, I think. It's
Well,
been
because we've
a
been
little while.
spreading that information too. Power
Mm-hmm.
in numbers, sub everybody. And that's
Yep,
what we've been
exactly.
doing. And they shut that shit down. They made it 10 times harder. And then even now, like when you put in somebody's channel, it doesn't always come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to find Truth Loops to sub them. I don't know if Truth Loops is a guy or girl, but I was gonna try to sub them, and I entered in exactly how it was spelled, and it didn't even come up. It was
Mm-hmm.
nowhere. But they had made a comment and something or maybe it was a comment in one of my things to me, and I was able to click it there and go and sub them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so crazy. And
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that it's crazy, but we may be the ones causing this stuff. You know,
Oh, for sure.
maybe
We
not
definitely
me
affect,
personally, but you know what I mean.
yeah, we definitely like affect stuff. I mean, I'm I'm kind of surprised that like you and I don't get our videos taken down because like I don't ever filter what I talk about. I know you don't either. And like I mention all kinds of stuff that like other channels get, like they get their video taken down, like, you know, if you mention certain shooting events or certain like bombings, whatever, you know, you mention stuff like that, they'll take your whole video down. Sometimes they'll take your whole channel down just for that
Right.
stuff. And I'm surprised we haven't really had videos banned, but
Great.
uh
Glad you said something. They're like,
yeah,
oh
just a little
shit, we
bit.
forgot to do that to these two idiots.
Yeah. Um,
Thanks.
but I mean,
No, I
Mark
agree.
Sargent, Mark Sargent's gonna have on someone this week on Strange World that they have another platform that's up and coming. I think it's called Lighthouse, and they're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
talk
gonna get
about
in.
that. And I don't know. I tried to stream on D Live, but I like couldn't figure out OBS. There was like one step that I had to do that I just like I couldn't figure it out. I haven't tried in a while, so I might try again. I don't know. I don't know.
Nice. No, I'm gonna
But
do
yeah, I mean,
when I
it'd be
get my
nice
new
to have a
computer.
different platform.
Yeah, I get it. I get my new machine Tuesday, and I'm gonna join that. What is it? Restream. And what you do is you stream whatever. Maybe it's from OBS. I guess it is. You stream it to that, and from there, it streams to multiple platforms.
Nice.
So you can do D Live, Twitch, whatever.
Right.
I'm just gonna set up ZULUONE on everything and
Yeah,
say
that may
fuck
be
it.
what Karen and Brian use, because I know when Karen streams, she'll be on YouTube, D Live, like Facebook, probably Discord. Like
I'm
she's on
pretty
quite a
sure
few.
that's what she said.
She's on quite a few all at once. Yeah. Um, but yeah, lots of
Yeah, I think that'll
platforms out
work.
there for sure. And I mean, I don't do this for money in any way, but I mean, there are platforms that it's really easy to donate to people while they're streaming. Like D Live, you can throw like lemons at them or whatever, which are worth a few cents. But I mean, it all adds up over time. But it's like, hey, if people want to donate, like, why not stream on a platform that actually gives you that option? Because like, I was
Gotcha.
at 350 subscribers, and now I've dropped back down to 347. And I mean, it's not
You
really.
lost 3 subs?
Yeah, I don't even know what I did.
Those
It's like
cocksuckers.
apparently, like they didn't enjoy my dandelion stream, and they're like, "Oh, f this bitch, I'm getting out of here." And I mean, my channel doesn't really have like a direction for what kind of channel it is, so maybe people don't like that. I don't know. I don't really care one way or the other. I'm like, watch it if you want. I don't. If you don't, I don't care. But I don't know. Sometimes I think like, oh, it might be nice if people could like donate to my channel if they felt like it. But who knows?
That'd be
I
awesome too.
just don't care.
I never did that. I mean, I'd love to start something. I want to get a P1000 and record. I have such a perfect sky shot every night. I could get
Yeah.
the spirals. I could get the moon. It comes across my backyard. I get it for hours. I'd like to do that maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I want to definitely, like I said, I'm gonna make movies using the server, the Grand Theft Auto stuff, as a
Hmm.
platform because you can download all different characters, and I want to do movie scenes from famous movie scenes, but with my dialogue and things like that. And, sneak in some flat earth stuff here, some truth here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. And I think it'll be funny. And my son, he is fucking hysterical funny. He's just as twisted as I am, great sense of humor, and he's a wild card. He won't, like, I'm going to have talking points, but I know he'll just go off script and it should be
Right.
good. But I want to stream those, put those on like the whatever it is that, and we're going to call it Boomer and Co. and Company
Nice.
because I'm like old, but I want to stream it to wherever the people watch the gaming shit,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Nice.
maybe they'll pick up some truth, and maybe they'll look into flat Earth or something.
Right. For sure.
I'm sure I can have, anything because there's all different stuff you could download, and on the server, Dank, as a matter of fact, is the one who's hooking me up. On the server, you can edit, so you can add structures, you can add vehicles, and what I've noticed is Rockstar does a really, really good thing of giving you the feel of certain areas of the country. And that game, there are parts of it that exist in California that I'm sure that somebody who's actually been there could be like, wow, that looks exactly like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they did New York City, they did it so good that I used to take people, I'm such a dork. I used to take people on tours and tell them, well, that building's real, but it's really on that side of the street. That bridge is really this bridge and it's up there, not here. But they had so much stuff that was real. So I'm going to use it. I think it'll be fun. But I have to do, like you said, get onto the multiple platforms and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I definitely need to branch out. Like, I have joined the YouTube flow incredibly late, while everybody is like getting kicked off YouTube. I'm like, maybe I should make a YouTube channel. And so I'm like super late to the
Yeah.
game, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
actually
Hey,
pretty
you never know.
normal for me. I'm generally like the last one to get on any trend. And like, by the time I find it, then everyone else is like, we don't do that anymore. Like, that's
I
so
know.
stupid. And so
That's so
I've
2017.
always been like that. So
I hear you. I don't care. I'm trying it. Me and the kid, we're gonna do Boomer and Co. I think people will laugh. Now we'll see. See what happens. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna monetize anything on YouTube, but I mean, I suppose people can still whatever they have there join or whatever it is. They could do shit. I guess I don't know. We'll see.
right.
I think it'll be good. I think that I have time right now, so I can dedicate that. I don't mind doing the editing. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm definitely gonna make music. I
Right.
didn't realize how simple it is and it didn't dawn on me. It's all digital.
Yeah,
All you got,
exactly.
it's all layers like OBS. You just do with music. I want to make some killer beats and shit, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Boomer and Co is gonna be. I don't even know what word to use. I don't know what's boomerish. Boomer and Co is gonna be flexing. My son hates when I do that shit.
That's awesome. Flexing.
Yeah, I fuck with him. I'll be like, yo, man, I'm flexing, yo. Or some shit. I'm flexing my skills. And he just shakes his head. He's like, boomer. And I'm like, actually, I'm not a boomer.
Right.
I think I'm the coolest. I'm X. X in the house. I don't know. You're a millennial, right?
I think technically I am a millennial. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but
Or-
you're an old soul. You might as well be a boomer.
yeah, pretty
Get
much.
off my lawn.
Exactly. Always looking to ruin someone's day.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would say that you just don't take no shit. I hear
Yeah.
you. I'm sick of people too. I had an epiphany at the beginning of the COVID bullshit when I was at a shop. It was like one of the last days of working in the field. Might have even been the last day. And I was talking to the shop owner who I've known for 20 plus years. And we're just talking about what's going on. And actually, there was even a cop standing there. And the three of us were talking about it. And I was giving them references to the flu and things like that, and what Fauci had said in February, and all the stats. And it's I don't think it's necessary to overreact right away. And it's a different story if there's bodies piling in the street. And we're just having a conversation, and the woman there, probably mid to late 60s, with her dog. And I'd already petted the dog when I came in. It was nice. And
Hmm.
she said, "Oh, well, you guys are all wrong." And I said, "Excuse me?" And it was something about the stats and the numbers. And she's like, "That's all wrong. That's not what they say on Fox or CNN." I don't even remember which one it was. And I swear I was about to start in with, "Well, you're incorrect because it's this, this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. And these are my sources." And something inside was like, "Just let it go, dude. You're not going to convince this person. You're not going to get anywhere with it." And I just turned back to them and I was like, I don't know. It's all stupid anyway. And then just started talking about cars and got them to change the subject altogether. Because it's like, I just, I know that I, deep down inside, I want to tell people and show them and be like, "Yo, man, look around you. You know, they're lying. It's hashtag same team, man. We are
Hmm.
all being lied to about something." I
Right.
hate to say it when I joke about, "Oh, there's a conspiracy about that." Well, it's pretty fucked up because there's usually a conspiracy about that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and that in itself is just the most absurd fucking thing to me. I mean, besides the fact that we may be living on a flat plane, not a
Mhm.
globe. Because
Right.
I'm standing on my back porch right now, looking up at a beautiful, crystal clear sky, Orion, the moon, and it looks like the ceiling. It doesn't look like it's space.
Right. Exactly.
It never did to me.
I was just reading a book where the characters were in a region of madness where like the magic was super intense and it caused them to like hallucinate basically, but the constellations are like coming to life and like fighting with the people on the ground. And I don't know, it was just really really wild. But they actually mentioned what was it, they said something was on the nocturnal dome, and I just thought
Really?
that was like kind of
Oh, was
interesting.
that the clip you sent me?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
That's
But
very
yeah, I just thought
interesting.
like, oh, that's interesting. Like there's always these little slips of truth and whatnot. And like I don't even know if the writer was thinking of it in that way, just like that's just what he wrote or whatever. But because he's like written other things about just like I don't know, there's just like some kind of space stuff in there, like going super far away to like far distant galaxies, whatnot. But then there's a little mention of a nocturnal dome. It's interesting. I notice little things like that. But Yeah.
No, that is
But
very interesting. I think it's also
I
crazy how oh, sorry. I was just gonna say
no, you're
about the light, how like Bob talks about that all the time, the inverse square law. And
mm-hmm.
once you understand it, I mean, I look up and it's like, well, that can't be
Yeah.
trillions of miles away. And I mean, and the way the the sun and the moon like reflect off the water. If it's
Right.
truly that far away and giving light off in all these directions, it should light up the entire horizon, the entire sky, the entire
Right.
surface. It
Exactly.
shouldn't be a concentrated beam across the water. That doesn't make sense because I mean, and okay, I know people will be like, "Well, you're an idiot. That's why it doesn't make sense." I get I'm an idiot, but that shit doesn't make sense.
Right.
Okay, it
Yeah.
just doesn't.
I remember David Weiss talking about the sun, and so he said like, okay, so the sun is supposed to be 8 light minutes away from us, and think of how like
Right.
small how small the sun looks. Like if you hold up like a quarter or a coin or whatever, and it can like cover the size of the sun. Okay, so that's 8 light minutes away. So you know, move that out to a day. How small would that light appear to us in the sky? If it's as small as it appears right now at 8 minutes away, move it away to an hour away, a day away, and then 1 light year away. Like there's no possible way that we would be able to see it. And for these things to be, you know, 69 million light years away or whatever the fuck they say, like it's so absurd to think that we could see something that like there's no way that we can see that far. Like there just is not it's not a possibility. Like I'm so tired of it.
I know it's insane how I mean that's just logic and reasoning. Why is there such denial over it?
Yeah.
You know, I give Stanton Friedman credit for a comment he made, and he was the UFO guy that Mark interviewed that was like totally shocked that flat Earth was a real thing. You know
Hmm.
that he knows astronauts and stuff like that because he was big on aliens. He was the
Right.
first person to interview a couple and put their story out. Barney and I forgot the wife's name, but they were abducted.
Hmm.
And what he said was that first off, he said it only takes one thing to be real to make it real, you know. And if 1.2 million people have been abducted, or at least reported that, are they all batshit crazy?
Right.
You know, so I give him credit for that because I mean, there's certain things that we talk about and discuss that I don't see how you can disprove or get away from the curvature, bendy
Right.
water. I just, I always say, forget lakes, forget ponds, forget mountains, go to the ocean.
Yeah.
From any point to any point on a sphere, there is an arc. So there is a curvature.
Yeah.
So on the water, you should never. It shouldn't ever be flat.
Right. Exactly.
And how
And
can
yeah,
that be?
people need to really, really stop saying their only excuse. It's always first. Well, you just don't understand how big the Earth is. No, bitch, it's 24,901 miles. That is exactly how big it is. So if you have that, you are going to have a certain amount of curvature. There's no other way to look at it. You can't I mean, how many flat sections of a thing does it take to make a curve? Like, it doesn't make sense. You can't have it be so big that you can't measure the curve and also be curving equally in every direction. You don't get to have it both ways. And then once you tell them that, then they're like, oh, well, it's just refraction that why you
Well,
see that. No, like
well,
you
yeah.
have to
Then they tell you you're a dick.
you have to
It's like,
stop holding on to that shit. Like it doesn't make sense. If there's curvature, we should be able to measure it. And for you to believe in a curve, you believe that people are standing upside down thousands of miles below you, and the magic of gravity makes them think that they are standing right side up. Well,
right.
if you read about gravity, it doesn't tell you that it changes your perspective to make you think that you're standing right side up when you are not. Because I'm currently standing right side up, and you're 3,000 miles away from me, Zulu. I would bet that you're probably standing right side up as well. So how far do
Hmm.
people have to get before they're on the underside of the ball? We don't all get to be on the top of the ball. It's not possible. So like,
No, you should be a quarter of the way around
yep.
from me. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
if you're 3,000 miles away from me, I mean, that's an unbelievable amount of curvature in between you and I. Unbelievable amount. And it's not there. So, yeah, people really need to just let it go. Your ball is dead
No,
and dicks don't go in space. So,
no, no. There's zero dicks in space. They're only on TV.
I think that the Bermuda Triangle is actually a cover live
Uh huh. Uh huh.
for their rocket graveyard. Because I mean, they always launch them out
Yeah.
into the fucking water. Oh, and you're not allowed to go to the Bermuda Triangle because you might get sucked down in there. Yeah, well, that sounds like the perfect cover
Did you
for
know?
the
Do you know
rocket graveyard.
Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico is part of the Bermuda Triangle, and we fly through it every time we fly in and out of Puerto Rico, and
Wow,
there's no worries there. And I was like,
of course.
I didn't realize that until after my last flight with my son. He was a year and a half, and I thought he was going to be a terror. So I bought two seats. Luckily, the third seat was open, so we had a whole row. And the whole time, I just gave him a lesson on aviation, lift, and how the flaps work, and gear, and tires, and pressures, and just talked to him. And he listened. And it was funny because the old couple behind me was listening. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll shut up." And they're like, "No way. We're learning so much. We love it."
Nice.
So it was just, but then I found out, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like flying to Puerto Rico ever.
Yeah.
I don't want
Hmm.
to be in the rocket graveyard."
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see that article? It first showed up in a diving magazine.
Hmm.
Some guys found all this NASA stuff in the bottom of the ocean in the Bermuda Triangle,
Wow.
and they didn't think anything of it. You know, it
See,
was immediately.
this is why I need to get my diving classes, because then I can actually go and investigate the ocean. And first place I want to go is the fucking Bermuda Triangle, just to find all the stupid dicks in their big graveyard.
I'll drive the boat, but I'm not. I don't know about that. I don't know what's down there. I don't like going places where there's things that can eat me. You know, I mean, on land, I got a fair chance, but in the water, I don't breathe underwater.
Hmm.
Could be a problem.
Yeah. You know what
And
you
I
need
was
underwater, though?
traumatized from Jaws.
Need
What?
Underwater, you need a pressurized container of air,
Mm.
because you can't have a pressurized container with or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I'm getting tired.
I know exactly what you mean. No, you're on the money. You're on the money. That how else do I keep that air there? Yes, without a container. You're
Yep.
right. Pressure, vacuum, all of them.
Yeah.
They require that. It's. I mean, I, I don't. That's another one that once I understood, because I'll be honest. Actually, my father asked me this the other day, and he's 76 years old. And we're talking, and he goes, "Well, how much did you really learn in high school and stuff?" And I said, "Well, honestly, like nothing. When I got to
Right.
high school, all I cared about was girls, cars, and smoking,
Right.
and and that was it. And I didn't pay attention to anything. I learned all this stuff in the last 5 years because I wanted to learn it, and
Right.
that's why now I'm picking it apart, and a lot of stuff isn't logical. Doesn't flow, and I understand, the argument works the other way too. It only takes one thing, but like David Weiss has said, and I said it also from day one because I look at it from, like being like a detective and investigating, you know, well,
Mm-hmm.
what's circumstantial? What proves the globe, what proves flat, what is inconclusive. And what I
Mm-hmm.
found is that nothing to me really proves the globe.
Right.
There's a bunch of things that I haven't been able. I mean, well, I guess the curvature thing I proved to myself, so I'm 100% on board with that. That it's not there because I've been to the shore and I've been to the water and I've looked and measured and it doesn't make sense. It's flat,
Right.
and it. Now I forgot what I was going to say, but the whole thing is just the inconclusive bucket is just overflowing. There's just so
Yeah.
much stuff that doesn't work either way. And if it is a globe, there should be zero.
Right.
There
Exactly.
shouldn't be anything, and how I got my father to look at it, and not that he really looks at it, but he does pay attention. He watches and listens to our feeds, our streams,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, look, if you're a cop and the entire neighborhood came to you and said, "Yo, we think Willie killed Jose,"
Right.
but you have no bodies, no evidence, no nothing, but the entire community is saying it, isn't that enough circumstantial evidence that warrants an investigation?
Right, exactly. Yeah, because
And
people say constantly like, "Oh, well, we've known for all these years that the Earth is obviously a globe," and it's like, okay, so you're in a trial and you have all the evidence and people are deliberating about it. They're going to make their decision on whether this guy is guilty or not, and then at the last minute someone comes in with a piece of evidence that conflicts everything that you thought. You're just going to dismiss that evidence because you already think you figured it out. No, you're not. You're
right,
going to look at that evidence and you're going to compare it to what you already have, and you're going to have to see, does this have validity before we vote this guy guilty? And that's what's happening right now is people assume and think that we had it all figured out when we keep showing brand new evidence. I mean, how many fucking laser tests do we have to show over multiple miles of bodies of water that we're like, guys, there's no curvature. Like there is no curvature anywhere. Like, oh, you want it, we showed you over 5 miles, that wasn't good enough. Okay, we showed you over 30 miles, that wasn't good enough. Okay, what about this radio microwave test over 500 miles, or these infrared pictures over 500 miles? Like, how many miles do you need for it to be concrete evidence? Like, you just, yeah, I can't,
I
I can't.
know, I know,
Like,
I I know, I know. That's why so many of us have issues with the world.
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong?
Right.
And I don't know why are we the ones? and again, not trying to say we're special, you know.
Right.
I mean, God damn it, we are the fucking best. But you know, I mean, why did we snap out of it? Why were we able to be like, huh, this is not right. That doesn't make sense. What's up? Why did we question it? I don't
hmm
know. I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, what I have noticed is that maybe it's right, left brain kind of thing because almost everyone I've met i- throughout this has some sort of artistic type thing to them,
Right.
whether it be play, music, you know, create jewelry and domes and, you know,
hmm
artwork, you know, like my plaque. I love that freaking thing. So awesome. I look at it every day and just smile. So awesome. And, you know, everybody has some sort of artistic thing. I played music. I know how to play a tuba and a cornet, but I think everybody has some sort of artistic thing. So maybe it's that.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Is that a thing that allows people to see beyond outside the box?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I
I don't
don't
know
know
how.
what it
I don't.
is. But
I mean, I'm
interesting.
happy that I know all of you. You know, it's just it's crazy that everybody. I mean, we do have. I think we have a huge support system. I mean, look how everybody rallied for Mac and Sue and tried to. You know, we try. You know, you
Right.
know, we try, and I think that's pretty
Yeah. I
freaking
mean,
awesome.
strangers rallied for me from across the country, sending me money so that I could go to an event that they weren't
That's right.
even going
Oh
to.
yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. I
it's
didn't even
just,
mean to forget that. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, it's
That was
just,
big.
it's like none of my Globe friends donated to me to go to an event. Like, that's, yeah, it's interesting. But, um, I know we said we weren't going to stream forever, and of course we did. I am getting really, really tired though, so I think we're gonna
What
have to call
time is
it.
it?
It's almost midnight my time, so it's probably like 7 a.m. your time.
I, I, I love the. Uh, we've been on 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So
two
it's
hours and
almost.
51 minutes.
Oh
Yeah,
wow! It's almost 3 o'clock.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
So
cool. I had a blast. So
I
I
had a lot
I
of
don't
fun.
regret it at all. You're awesome to talk to. I love the people that come into the chat and talk to us. They're all awesome. Sue Finelli, you're awesome. OG legend.
Shout
She's
out
the
to
best.
everyone in
Yeah.
chat. Thank y'all for being here. It's been real fun. Always a pleasure. And yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm sure I'll be streaming later this week. I need to do a gardening stream and I need to do story time.
Yep.
And Zulu and I are going to be talking about the Georgia Guidestones probably this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned and we'll see
Keep
y'all
keep it
on the
flat.
flat side. See y'all on the flat side. Much
Peace.
love. Peace out.
Yes. Much love and love.